Seems like it's been a long time since we talked, hasn't it? It was, actually. Yeah, last week. Okay. Anyway, the season's just getting warmed up. Going into the draft and things like that coming up. So there's more to do. But with what's going on so far, as free agency is concerned, 90 currently, and there's going to be other things going on next week. This coming up week, as I assume. But not as better or worse so far. You liking what you see? Tony Nakatani's not. Tony sent me a note. He said he was disappointed in the second day of free agency. We have to realize the 49ers, wait a minute, you know what? Take that back. We think the 49ers don't have any money until all of a sudden they do, right? I said, because that signing with Hargrave, what? Whoa. Although today that could, be an interesting thing because Debo's getting paid today, starting today. Anyway, the opening of free agency week, one for the Niners, had maybe a surprise or two, but most of the bloodshed from the exits of former personnel, that may have been easily anticipated. This year, after reading the room in Santa Clara, as John Lynch and company were hinting regarding the financial situation, was probably misinterpreted by most observers, especially me. I don't know about you, but they had me convinced that we don't have any money. We got guys standing out on the streets of standing out on Market Street panhandling for money to help out the 49ers. We're just that bad. I says, well, Jesus, what are we going to do? So after the Niners signed top defensive agent Javon Hargrave, that bluff was up. Hey, I thought you guys were broke. So the team has been intense working on the defense while fans are still curious about the offensive line. I already see the question here now. Got to work on that offensive line. Fam, you know what? Should the front office be trusted to satisfy that worry? Seriously. As of this hour, are the Niners better or worse? Tonight we'll go to the phones for your take on the state of the Niners pre-draft and what are you expecting regarding further movements and transaction-wise. See, if you can, you know what? If you can actually feel the Niners to that point, if you know what's going on in Santa Clara, to the point that you can anticipate their next move, because I was one of the people that I thought I know what they're gonna do next. Shh. When they got Hargrave for 84, I said, what? How did you guys do? And you haven't even signed Nick yet. And then they went and got another. I said, okay, so you guys, never again will I believe. John Lynch starts smiling. You know he's lying. Well, he always does, but when he gets that really big grin on, John's lying. And they don't want anybody to know, so they got to tell us. They got to tell us the same stories they want everybody else to know too, because they're publicly making those statements, right? But the Niners added depth to the DB room Saturday with the signing of former Carolina Panthers cornerback. He's a safety, Miles Hartsfield, who will be joining the team on a one-year deal. Hartsfield, 5'11", 210, played in 41 games with the Panthers after joining the team as an undrafted rookie out of Ole Miss in 2020. He played in 16 games as a rookie, then moved into the starting lineup in 2021 after missing time early in the season due to a wrist injury. As soon as you hear about somebody else having a wrist injury, and they're coming over here, oh, no. See, I've always been one, man, there's nothing you can do about injuries in the NFL. There isn't. But I'm starting to subscribe to what people are talking about. Man, he's injury prone. Well, I said, you know what? There's no such thing as injury prone or not injury prone in the NFL. You can get hurt. I mean, everybody can get hurt. It's football. So Hartsfield totaled 45 tackles, 1 sack, 4 passes defense in 10 games, 9 starts in 2021. Then started 10 of 15 games in 2022 and made 59 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 2 passes defense. He's 25 and will be reuniting with new 49ers DC Steve Wilks, because Steve Wilks knows him. And I trust Hartsfield, and the reason why I always mention him, because I trust the fact that Steve Wilks knows who he is. Steve Wilks is the man when it comes to secondaries. So if he wants Hartsfield over here, I do too. I'm going to trust him. I've seen his defenses. They look good. So anyway, Hartsfield served with with our now DC, who served as secondary coach. Oh, by the way, Steve Wilkes. You know, I didn't even know Wilkes was secondary coach and defensive passing game coordinator. I didn't know it was his title, though. That makes sense, though. That he was doing that before he come in interim head coach in 2022. Anyway, Hartsfield has the versatility to help in multiple areas on defense, safety. Hartsfield also gained plenty of special teams experience during his 3 years with the Panthers. And, of course, we need that. Hartsfield may have to battle for a roster spot in the preseason, especially if the 49ers bring in more defensive backs in the draft, and they probably will. A lot of times it's really funny. Defensive backs make great special teams players. You notice that? Yeah. But his experience and ability to fill different roles will certainly help him when the time comes. The Packers have reportedly signed Tavares Moore, say goodbye to Timor, an unrestricted free agent. Here's the thing, 6'2", 200 pounds. That is the quintessential, but you know what's so funny? Cover 3. The 49ers are starting to move into some kind of a hybrid a lot now. They picked up Timor in third round selection out of Southern Miss in 2018. Dude can run a 4.3. Registered 8 tackles through 13 game appearances with the Niners last season, Pro Football Reference. Timor, who is just 26, has recorded 108 tackles, 6 passes defense, and 2 forced fumbles in 61 games appearances, 13 starts through his 4 NFL seasons. But the Niners apparently want to go in another direction from Timor at this point. You know, Steve Wilkes probably had something to say about that. They probably assessed Timor, because I don't really think the 49ers are crazy about getting rid of Timor. It just doesn't make any sense. Wilkes probably says, listen, you can do better. Let's bring this kid Hartsfield in, and I think he'll make things work a little better. You may have to let somebody go. I looked at Tavares Moore. He's probably not. You know, Moore, you remember we saw him taking bad angles and things like that? At this level, if you're a DB and you're still taking bad angles and things like that, those are things you should have ironed out probably in high school. He made it on physical merits more than anything else. And Timor can play. But I like him myself. The first wave of free agency has come and gone, though, fam, and the Niners have had to say goodbye to a number of familiar faces while welcoming a few new ones. There's been a good amount of shelving over the past week, but one thing remains clear. The 49ers still have one of the best rosters in the NFL. You believe that? Believe it. It's true. There's still more players to be added in the weeks ahead, both in the draft and in free agency. But the question in my mind now, in the world, the Niners going to manipulate funding. See, every time I think about that, I say, well, you can't get that guy. How are you going to do? And the next thing you know, they're making a deal like they did. Restructuring is about to take on a new meaning in Santa Clara, though, fam. There's already word going on. CMC, yeah, we can restructure him. That's really. He just got here. Debro's salary kicks in as of now. The Niners still need depth and competition in a few areas, and maybe a new starter in key spots on special teams. But they bring back one of the special team guys, Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, which I was a little concerned about because I said, why are you guys getting rid of Demetrius Flanagan-Foles? He wasn't getting paid that much. They got him back for about $1 million something anyway. But I guess we'll see how Hartley works out. But with the things are shaping up now, the Niners could be looking at a fairly complete roster with very few weaknesses once they're done with their offseason moves. I know, right? You know, Fab, you keep in mind, we're in the NFC. See? If we was in the AFC, we'd be meat. I mean, as far as, well, we wouldn't be meat, but we'd be compared. We'd be in the top 5 or 6. But being the best roster, I don't know. We need to come to grips, though, with the fact that there really isn't anything more that can be done for 2023-24. Wait for it, offensive line, fam. It's not going to get this, fam. I'm talking about the money, right? Listen, any free agent that comes in now is going to cost more than the 49ers can even begin to think they can afford. What you see is what it is. I'm at peace with that. I just assumed, I said, you know, I mean, I cried, you know, and had to take a couple of sedatives, but we're not getting any offensive linemen, man. Unless we get, draft. Quarterback issue returning. We got Trey Lance, Brock Purdy signed, Sam Darnold departing, Jimmy Garoppolo, Raiders free agent, Josh Johnson, thank God. Darnold supposedly gives the Niners a veteran quarterback they needed with Lance and Purdy coming off injuries. His presence adds to an already high level of intrigue surrounding the quarterback situation in San Francisco. All he did was add to the intrigue. That's all he did. I'm getting pushback on that, but you know what? Some believe Darnold won't start this season unless something goes awry with Lance and Purdy. Stay tuned on that one. You know what? Kyle has been talking about Darnold for a while now. If he brought him in just to sit him down and not give him a shot, which he already has that advantage of his experience, they're not fooling me. It'll be fascinating to see, though, if Darnold can give his career a boost under Shanahan and quarterback coach Brian Griese, as pretty much everybody has. Things haven't turned out as expected for Sam D after joining the league as the number 3 overall pick in 2018. But he's still young at 25 and has plenty of talent to work with. Most of the attention in the months ahead, though, should center around Trey Lance. Kyle, you guys spent all that draft capital. You got rid of my boy Jimmy. I mean, you might as well you better do something with Trey, who's already back on. Trey's already back on the field doing off-season workouts after his season-ending ankle injury. And Purdy was expected to need 6 months of recovery after recent elbow surgery. I mean, if he can come back. I mean, those kind of things, I wonder, wow, is that going to work out? Even with Brock Purdy's standout performance at the end of the 2022 season, Lance may still have an opportunity to gain the dignity of a high first-round pick if he's able to put together a strong showing over the next 6 months. I'll be surprised if the Niners don't add a fourth quarterback in the weeks ahead, though at least a late-round pick like Purdy was last year, or maybe an undrafted rookie for a spot on the practice squad. This is, the 49ers are going after Belichick's model of how you treat people at the end of the season, how you do things to keep things fresh. Running back, that's a need for that is a low to moderate factor. Returning Christian McCaffrey, whoa. Elijah Mitchell, yes, if we can just keep them people. Oh, Jordan Mason, Tyrion Davis Price, he hasn't even got a chance to play yet. And fullback extraordinaire, Kyle Juszczyk. The Niners team set at running back numbers-wise and quality-wise, but that won't stop them from adding more help here in the draft or a UDFA. Bobby Turner's now telling Kyle now, look, I got behind a couple of guys. Bobby, I trust you. Okay, well, we'll take a look at it. But the Niners have proven at running back will be picked up every year. That's all there is to it. They proved that with the selections of Davis Price in 2022 and Mitchell, Trey Sermon in 2020, and intend to spend draft capital. That's the intent to keep position strong, even if it seems to already be an area of strength. And you and I both know the 49ers can never get too many running backs. If they got 7 or 8, I would bet money on Vegas would put a line up on it. If the 49ers came in with 10 running backs to start the season week 1, by week 8 or 9, the 49ers are down to the last 2 running backs. And if going to the playoffs, they may have to think about getting another. I said, damn, Niners, why do we go through running backs like tissue paper, man? Whoa. So the injury histories of McCaffrey and Mitchell could make them think it will be a good idea to go sign another one again anyway. Either way, the Niners will have one of the best running back groups in the NFL next season. Keeping the room healthy is the only issue. From week 1, we will be the absolute shiznit. And you know this. Week 7 and 8, we said, man, I hope we don't have to take 2 or 3 more weeks to get back. Good God. Wide receiver, need factor there is kind of low. Returning Brandon Ayuk, Debo, Ray McLeod, Danny Gray, Juwan Jennings. Reserve future signings include Tyron Johnson, Tay Martin, Daz Newsome. Niners return all of their production from 2022 at this position, so it'll be strength once again. But they could also bring in more talents for a look to ensure depth for this season and to plan for the future because of the current players who could eventually become a little too more expensive for the 49ers pocketbook. Ayuk, I know you're going to ask for the boy. If Ayuk has another year like he did last year, he has every right to ask for the money he wants. And the 49ers say, Brandon, you know we love you, man. Listen, can we make a deal like this? No, 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 because I don't like y'all that much anyway. So I really get the feeling sometimes Brandon's he's kind of hard to. When you look at Brandon, now you can listen to him talk. Have you got him figured out? I can't. I really can't get an angle on him. But it's also tough to say for sure that the team will get what they'll get from Gray, who caught only one pass while developing as a rookie in 22. No, it wasn't the quarterback's fault. Nobody's fault. It was Danny. It was Kyle and Danny. It had nothing to do with anything more than that. I don't know what Danny was doing in practice, but Kyle didn't like it. Because if you're good, Kyle ain't going to keep you back for any other reason. Wide receiver isn't a huge need, though, at the moment. Tight end, need factor there is moderate. George Kittle's returning Charlie Warner. Free agents Ross Dwelly, Tyler Croft, Jordan Matthews, who's been trying to get a job with the 49ers for how long now? This is your however for the Niners could spend one of their higher draft picks on a young pass-catching tight end to pair with G. Kittle. The only tight ends the 49ers have drafted in the Shanahan-Lynch era are Kittle in 2017. That was a round 5 pick. Good God, Niners! What? Warner, 2020, 6th round. And former 49er Caden Smith, 2019, another 6th-rounder. Has anybody heard anything more about him since he went to the Giants? So they obviously haven't viewed it as a huge priority anyway, which is really interesting because Kyle ran a lot of 2 tight end sets when he was in Atlanta. This could be and should be the year to reverse that trend, though, Niners. There's a need for competitors' improvement depth-wise at that position anyway. The tight end crop in this year's draft is deep, talented, and loaded. Oh, my God, get one, please, Niners. Offensive line, need factor. Fambo. Fam. Returning left tackle Trent Williams and left guard Aaron Banks and center Jake Brendel. Right guard Spencer Burford. Right tackle Colton McKivitz. Jalen Moore. Nick Zakagel. Departing is Mike McGlinchey. He went to the Broncos. Daniel Brunskill went to the Titans on us. Reserve future signings, Alfredo Gutierrez, Keith Ismail, Jason Poe, Leroy Watson. The depth of the O-line is looking worrisome at the moment, fam. Those names I just gave you, were you impressed with that? See, now it's almost, remember Trent Balk used to bring all these people in? I think found some of those people hanging around on Market Street, sitting down in the gutter. He'd bring them in and and all you think about, oh, man, Trent, who is this dude, man? God, please don't have him have to come in. May the starters please make it from week 1 to 16. Oh, God. And Trent would say, he's a good prospect. We're just going to coach him up a little bit and see if we can get out of him what we want to get out of him. People don't need to question my judgment on these things. Shut up, Trent. You know, you just really... The Niners could be counted on to add more help at the position at some point in the near future. Williams, Banks, and Brendel are locked in the starting lineup, while Burford may be as well since Brunskill has already left us. But Kivitz is in line to replace McGlinchey at right tackle, at least for now. Now, if they draft somebody, and I guarantee, boy, I tell you what, anybody that thinks the 49ers are going to draft somebody in this year's draft as far as offensive line goes, get ready. The 49ers are going to draft people for the offensive line. And I think that's why they didn't go out and bother to overpay an offensive lineman, because you got to overpay if you go into the free agency to get a player anyway. So if you're going to overpay for an offensive lineman, that's a little scary. The Niners could use depth across the board and competition on the right side of the line. We all know that. The draft is likely the place they'll be looking at as they have the past 2 years. It would also be great to find another versatile and expensive vet like Brunskill. Casey, man, I'm telling you right now, man, we're going to miss Brunskill. Oh, yeah, we have. Has Brunskill ever did anything great? I still say that block, that highlight reel block that he put on that hawk just went flying out of the screen. Brunskill, and he slow-moed it. Brunskill, he's got his eye on it. CMC. Wait. Bam! Brunskill comes flying across the screen, takes that hawk into, I don't know where he took him, but he took him out of that picture. CMC, went into the third and fourth gear like he got so quickly. Boom! I said, oh, bitch. Big Brunskill, look at you. Yo! I was so delighted. So I'm going to miss him. Yeah, maybe filling for that one play. Yeah, that's right. Defensive line need factor moderate to high. This is the 49ers' identity. This is who they are. This is who the 49ers are. Kyle Shanahan is an offensive coach. He leads this team. But Kyle has already said it arrogantly so. Kyle, if you had to choose between offensive and defensive lines, which one would you emphasize? Or I did say defense. Oh, no, offense and defense. Which would you emphasize? Defense. Because I can take anybody, and I can take any team and score. Kyle smiled when you say that, man. You serious? He was. Kyle believe. See, that's why when people tell me, no. Kyle doesn't tell his quarterbacks what to do. You better believe he That's why Kyle's so confident. Because Kyle, in his mind, thinks there's no. Kyle is the same man who once said, there's always somebody open. In my offense, there's always somebody open. See, that's why Brady and Kyle would have bumped heads. It would have been like an explosion. Yeah, and Brady's older than Kyle and has achieved way more. That's why I knew he wasn't ever coming. I could be wrong, but I think Kyle is that way. You do as you're told, you'll be fine. You start going off schedule on me too much, and there's going to be a problem. But returning defensive end Nick Bosa, defensive tackle Eric Armstead, defensive end Drake Jackson, DT Javon Kinlaw, DT Kevin Givens, DT Kalia Davis, DT T.Y. McGill is back and signed defensive tackle Javon Hargrave. Cleveland Farrell. See, the 49ers didn't waste no cash and no time getting these guys. Departing, Samson Ebukam, and they played Hargrave way more. Ebukam said, they didn't offer me anything like that. I might have stayed. Charles Omenihu went to the Chiefs. Hassan Ridgeway went to the Texans. Defensive tackle Maurice Hurst went to the Browns. Good riddance with him because Maurice Hurst wasn't going to play this year. He's going to come and say, what's wrong with you? That same calf. God. Free agents, Jordan Willis, Kerry Hyder, reserve future signings, defensive end, Alex Barrett. Good. With Hargrave on board, the starting lineup, though, fam. Domination! Oh! Tell you what, both Armstead and Hargraves will make up one of the best defensive line cores in the league. Now, who they get to help him out, anybody else who contributes, oh, goodness gracious. Jackson saw his playing time tail off towards the end of the last season, but is most likely now a favorite to start opposite Bosa. We've been worried about that, and we're going to get anybody else over there on that other side. No. It looks like it's going to be Drake unless they see somebody in the draft they like, which Drake is normally probably going to beat out. There's depth in the inside, Kinlaw and Gibbons, and we don't know what to expect from the 2022 sixth-round pick, Kalia Davis, just yet, who missed his rookie season while recovering from injury. Farrell comes to the Niners on a one-year deal, hoping to be the next player to jumpstart his career under defensive line coach and Jedi Chris Kasorek. He will at least add depth and can help in multiple spots. Coach him up, coach. Coach him up. I know if you can get, I'm trying to, because Arden Key, I thought Arden Key was good coming out of school. Fam, Raiders, it could be them. Arden Key was good coming out of school. Dude was a monster. He goes to the Raiders, he turns to poo-poo. Cleveland Farrell was one of the top picks in the draft that year. He goes to Oakland, he turns into poo-poo. How come? Can you imagine what Max Crosby would be? If Max Crosby was as good as he is, what if he came and worked with Kasurek? Woo! Damn! Oh, my God. Now you put them next to Nick. Oh, my God. Linebacker need factor low. Returning Fred Warner, Drake Greenlaw, Oren Burks, Demetrius Flanagan Foles. I love his name. Marcelino McCrary. A ball. Marcelino. He's not Latino, though. Departing Aziz Al-Shari went to the Titans. Reserve future signings, Curtis Robinson. The loss of Al-Shari leaves at least one spot to be won at the linebacker position. Warner and Greenlaw own them spots. Forget about it, unless they get hurt. Of course, while Burks once again will provide depth in a special teams presence, beyond that, it remains to be seen how the rest of the position plays out. Flanagan Foles is an early favorite to be back on the roster again, while McCrary, Ball, and Robinson are capable of winning a spot as well. But chances are there will be more competition added here in the future. Because the Niners, we always keep the best linebackers, if not the best linebackers in the NFL. Yeah! Ooh, got history. Niners haven't drafted a linebacker since Greenlaw in 2019. That could change this year. Defensive back need factor is kind of moderate. Returning cornerback Javarius Ward. Amador Lenore Ambry. Tom Ambry. Come in there and do what you did the year before last this year. I want to send him to a therapist, Kyle. There's something wrong with him mentally because the boy's got all the tools. He can play. What the hell happened to him last year? Samuel Womack, Tashawn Gibson, Talanoa Funga, George Odom, and they signed Isaiah Oliver. Departing Emmanuel Mosley to the Lions. That hurt. Safety cornerback Jimmy Ward and Tavares Moore. Ward's going to hurt too, I got a feeling. His versatility of being Ward can play anywhere on that defensive back area and do a good job. He doesn't just play it. He does a good job. Slot, safety, free agents now. Dante Johnson, and they're not going to Jason Verrett will not be re-signed. He's on his own. So we've been asking that question. The 49ers said, Jason, you're on your own, babe. Go ahead. We're going to say goodbye. Reserve future signings, safety Taylor Hawkins, cornerback Quantrez Knight, Trey Swilling, A.J. Parker. Mosley was a tough loss, so even if the Niners got along with him without him most of the 2022 season, Niners expect interest in Mosley after the season and keeping him around. But even that so-so price tag he found in Detroit, $6 million. I guess he heard the 49ers weren't paying him any more than $4 million. My guess, I don't know. Why would he leave for $6 million? A one-year deal. Niners probably going to give him more than that. Anyway, Tavares Ward, Lenore, and Oliver seem to be set to play big roles at corner, with Gibson and Hufanga once again starting at safety. Oliver is the early favorite to take over for Jimmy Ward at nickel. We can assume the Niners will add more competition at both corner and safety in the draft as well. Gibson had a strong showing in 2022, but he's back on just a one-year deal. Plus, T. Gibson will turn 33 in August. A youthful injection might be a smart move this year in the draft, so I'm sure the 49ers are going to be looking high. You know what? How many got? Three third-round picks? Yeah, that's where we're probably going. There could be a spot or two to be won at the corner as well. If the 49ers had one or more in the draft, Thomas and/or Womack could find themselves in a roster battle coming up in August. Well, I like them roster battles. Specialists need factors low to moderate. Returning LS long snapping Tabor Pepper got a nice contract. Punter pitchman, which Mitch Wisnowski, and free agent Robbie. Man, come on, man. Robbie, stop playing with me, man. This has been kind of an area of stability in recent years, other than the long snapper, right? That might not be the case now that Robbie Gould may or may not have parted ways. Robbie, man. Unless Robbie G returns to the Bay, the Niners will need to find a replacement. Fam, I know, I always, see, because I have a thing about kickers. When I'm watching other ball games and I'm seeing a kicker walk on the field, you know, he's sitting there watching. He gets up, ball team. Oh, Jesus. My God, did he miss? I always think, God, oh, God, do we know how lucky we are to have Robbie? Robbie doesn't, when he misses, he doesn't miss like that. And then the guy comes back in like the Dallas Cowboys kicker. He does it again. Oh, that's not enough. He comes back again. He did it again. I'm sitting, hey, Cowboys, you know what? It couldn't happen to a better. Boy, I tell you what, I'm loving it. So if Robbie moves on, the Niners will need to be careful in choosing a reliable successor. Fam, it's nerve-wracking for me. I'm telling you right now. Oh, man. Whoa. Because if I sit up and I watch a kicker and we need a field goal or something like that, and we're going to win by 1 point if he makes his field goal, and he's getting the ball all up to the into the stands and out into the parking lot. I mean, you see that's what I was talking about. Lost the damn game. I knew it. Hey, hey, 49er Brian.
Hello, Ronbo.
49er B. Brian, you know, I'm looking at this roster. Brian, are we better or worse? Do you see some places where the need is high or low? Or what do you think of there?
Offensive line, buddy. Still.
We all
Don't
agree.
you think?
We all
Yep.
agree. You won't find one 49er fan that says, I love our offensive line. You can search high and low for weeks and months, and you'll never see the 49er. I love our offensive line.
I do like that we picked up Oliver on the defense. That was a good pickup.
Yeah, Isaiah. He looks good.
He looks like he's going to. Oh, with him and Ward, Ward, they should be great, right?
Ward? Oh, Travarius. I forgot. We got 2 Wards.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, we got
He's a
rid
tough
of the
guy.
other
He's
Ward.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we needed that toughness on the corners, don't you think? I mean,
Yeah, especially when he's going to be in the slot. But your slot man needs to be a little vicious,
Yeah.
a little bruising. I want guys to think about,
Yeah.
like Cooper Kupp's a big guy. I want him to think about it when he comes out, because he's over 200 pounds. He's going to be good.
I'm looking forward to the draft. I think what I'm seeing here is they're concentrating on defense first.
Always.
With all this free agency, and then I think we're going to get a lot of offensive players out of the draft. Don't you think? That's what it's looking like to me.
Well, good point, because they seem to be satisfying what they want to do with defense now. Now, they're going to bring in some competition, maybe a cornerback or something like that, but those are going to be the later rounds. We only have later rounds. Brian, you got 3 picks, I think, in the 3rd round. How would you designate those position-wise? What's your first pick?
Well, I want a tight end first, don't you? I still like the sound of that.
I do too, because this tight end class is so rich. I like that. Okay.
I would love to see another great tight end with Kittle. Why not go for another quarterback? I don't see why we can't draft another great quarterback.
In the 3rd.
You know? Yeah.
You're not going to get that offensive
There's
lineman?
one available.
Yeah. You gave me 2.
Yeah, big time.
It
just depends what's available, right, buddy? I mean, we got to wait
you
a
said
long time.
You used the first one
Or
for tight end.
we're going to trade up. We might trade up.
Then there's
we can always trade up.
You have to lose that first-round pick for next year, though.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to do that. I know how Kyle and the bosses are about that. They don't like to do that very often. Well, look what they did with Trey, though. Come on.
Yeah.
So, maybe they will.
That's not a norm, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got tight end, and you got your second pick is a quarterback. How about your 3rd?
Yeah, and do we got to get a kicker? Don't we? We need a kicker.
In the 3rd round. Yeah, bro. You don't have to get a kicker. You don't have to get him in the 3rd round. I mean, you could.
Well,
okay, 3rd round. All right.
Don't you want to see that? Just because I worry about our kicker all the time. It's a worry, you know. And I'd rather get the.
I do. The thing is, kickers don't. Nobody's going to go after kickers too early because they don't. Most teams have their kickers, so your kickers are going to be pretty plentiful going into even as late as the 5th round.
Yeah. How about why not another good safety? We need a good safety.
They're definitely going to be looking for a safety. That's yeah. Because Gibson's 34, 33, yeah. So he's going to probably be on 1 year.
I would try and get another safety, and how about another edge rusher too? I don't see why not.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
you can't get too many edge rushers.
But I got it. We got to see that offensive line's got to improve, man. I don't want our quarterbacks getting busted up anymore. You know.
Well, I tell you what, I agree with that, and I just don't know. That right side is where McKivitz is good at protecting the quarterback, though. You just can't run with him as well as you could with McGlinchey. That's the thing.
Brunskill wasn't Brunskill our multitasker. He was just everywhere.
You see,
too bad we can't find another guy like that.
I'm hoping they can. We got Brunskill from the indoor league, I think it was, And
Yeah.
those Brunskills only come around once here and there. But Brunskill was
Yeah.
undervalued by us.
Oh yeah. I don't know why we didn't try to keep him. Do you know why, Ronbo? Why we let him go? Just
Right.
the money or what?
Well, no. I suspect it was the money, though. I mean, Brunskill probably got a
Yeah.
better offer from the Titans than he did the 49ers, is probably what that came down to. And
Yeah.
Brunskill says, listen, I'm not going to be in this league forever. I like you guys over here in San Francisco, but the Titans are offering me money
Yeah.
I can't say no to.
Yeah, you can't blame them for it. It is a business, and they gotta get the money while they can.
Yeah.
Can't hate them for that. But it's a shame when they got to go to other places. But man, it's just a shame. I just don't want to see any more of our guys getting busted up and losing all these quarterbacks every year. Is just getting to be a pain every year, don't you think? I mean, it's sad to
Absolutely.
watch.
Absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
why they're going to get
We'd
into
be
the
in the
quarterback.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We should have been in the Super Bowl, buddy.
And
We're almost
this
there.
was the one, too. This was one. Everything was
Yep.
clicking exactly the way we needed it to in order to compete in the Super Bowl. And what do they do?
Yeah.
What they had to do. They
Yeah.
break that quarterback's arm. Now the 49ers can't compete.
Yeah, well, there ain't nobody that's told me that the Eagles legitly beat us. So,
Hey, even Hargrave said it. People say, well, what else is he supposed to say? He just got paid. No, Hargrave said, no, we know had we knew he Burford Brock Purdy, we knew he could move, and we knew it was going to be a different game if he's not in there. Yeah.
And as bad as the Chiefs were playing in that Super Bowl, I think we would have had a chance too.
The defense would have overwhelmed them
streaky.
beyond what the Eagles did. I agree.
Yeah. But I think our team is getting better by the day, Ronbo. I'm staying positive, like I told you a few days ago. No negativity here on my side, so
Right.
I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing.
Right. We just need to adjust that offensive line.
It's just a slow process, Just a slow process. Got to be patient, I guess.
We're still the best offensive. I mean, the best team from head to toe in the NFC, most likely.
Yeah. Oh, by far. There's no better roster than ours. No better crew that's going to be in the draft deciding what to do than Kyle and oh God, I'm having a brain fart.
John Lynch?
Our CEO. Yeah. Oh my God. Those guys, have they ever had a bad draft that I can remember? No. So
you know what? They've never had a bad draft, but they've had better drafts from one year to another.
Yeah, you can say what you want about the Trey Lance draft. I don't know if that was the greatest either, but
well, it remains to be seen.
But, yeah, it sure does, doesn't it? Oh boy.
Yeah.
So, but I have nothing but confidence in those two. So I couldn't think of two better guys. Could you to be doing that? So.
Well, Brian, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
I'll see you. Let's get together on. Let's do it Tuesday. Yeah.
All right, Ronbo. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks for having me on.
Always a pleasure.
Love the 49er fam. Love your station. Shout out to the crew.
Thanks,
have a good night.
You too.
Right, bye.
By the way, let me give a shout out to Brian Culp. He just brought little Murphy into the family. Brian, congratulations. Brian Culp just had a baby boy. And Eric, is it time for some Latino heat? Emilio!
What's happening?
Emilio just brought a little baby girl herself.
Yeah.
She's talking now about how she wants to make sure the 49ers get better because she's not pleased that if they don't win it this year that she's done with the 49ers.
Nah, see, I'm sorry, we're not Jalen. We watch the team no matter what. I'm
There
sorry,
you
I'm
go.
gonna bust that man out.
Yes.
Because he only likes watching the team when it wins. So, Jalen, you out there? You hear me? You're only 49 when we win, buddy. I don't ever want to hear you talking about.
Wait a minute. In Jalen's defense, he didn't say that. He just wants to get rid of Shanahan.
No, I don't want to hear that. The chat and them proved it and said it too. He's the one out here saying he only watches the team when they win. I don't want to hear it. You want to rhyme, but you can't watch the team when we lose no matter what.
Was that Jalen who only watches that? I remember somebody saying that. But was that Jalen?
Yeah,
okay, anyway,
him.
He'll probably be in a minute. Anyway, Emilio, better or worse are we Red and Gold Niners? Are you satisfied with what's going on so far?
The year just started. We good. We beat up our defense that we're supposed to. So that's all that matters right now. We still got the draft to go. We still got a few more pieces to go. So no, we're all right. Like I said.
Yeah,
Lynch and Shanahan both of them said we built from the line back. So that was the reason they got Hargrave. They got a few DBs. All right. Like I said, our defense is good. We just need a couple more pieces. Either get a couple free agents and get a couple draft picks to
I can't wait to see that
chart.
defense operate, though. That defensive line, I can't wait to see when they finally get on the field.
Oh, we gonna have that number one defense again.
Easily.
We had it this year. We had it last year. That's the one thing we consistent with. At least we got the number one defense. No matter who our defensive coordinator is, we got a number one defense.
Ooh, and that's right. You got Wilkes.
Top 5.
I mean, you know what? I got a feeling Wilkes may take it to another level, too. And maybe a different level. But, you know, Wilkes has been around doing what he's doing for a long time. Whereas D'Amico just did it for a while. But D'Amico was damn good, though. But Wilkes.
You both got to look at it because with D'Amico and Sala, their thing was deal with the linebackers. Finally, we got a new defensive court. We're going to deal with the DB. So and I think we since our defense is already bad, I think we're going to be more dangerous with our DBs.
And he'll have better judgment of talents for DB, too. Yeah.
I believe it is going to be a no-fly zone this year. Try to catch the ball if you want.
Oh, wouldn't that be special? I would love to start picking them off, getting them turnovers, things that we're not used to. Because we got turnovers. Gibson got us a few.
I see that coming. I really do see that coming. More interceptions left and right. There'll be more of that.
Looking forward to that.
Like I said, we just need to work on our offense. So no matter what happens, we're going to win the division and get in the playoffs. And once we get in the playoffs, we can worry about everything else.
True.
There should be I just don't see us not winning the division. I just don't. Unless we have something happen like last year, all our quarterbacks go down.
What are the odds?
I don't see us not winning the division, and I don't see us not getting into the playoffs. I just don't see it.
I agree.
And
in fact, it'll be embarrassing if we don't.
The only way I see that happening is it's 2020 all over, injuries left and right. Other than that, I just don't see it.
Can we please take a break off them injuries? Well, just please, God, just this 1 year.
I mean, it's going to happen regardless. Injuries happen all year.
Just have to wipe out the whole team is all I ask.
You just don't want big injuries and the whole season or for a moment. I mean, you're going to expect maybe a couple, 3 weeks, 4-week injuries here and there. Be done for the season. That's
she wants to talk. She's about. You can tell she's only maybe a month away from words, but she's got the vocals going though.
No, she's got a couple words going on. She's already got a couple.
All right.
She's just laughing.
But so the offensive line, you didn't say anything about the offensive line, and I figured everybody's worried about that.
No, I mean that's obvious. Biden said something before. We need to get that. We need to find a couple more pieces. You got to realize, like last year, we were all panicking last year. What happened? The line ended up working. Everybody's like, "Oh, the Mr. Jerry's here. The line is not that good." And look what happened. It took them a couple weeks, and all of a sudden, they want a pretty good offensive line. So that's not the problem. Like I said, they didn't show they can fix it. Santa didn't show that we got this line, we fix it. Like I said, sometimes we disappoint us. It even pissed me off a couple times, not making enough points and all of that. I just hate that it takes them a while to figure it out. We should be yelling from week 1, not wait until week 4, week 5, or week 6. No, let's go. I'm like, come on now.
But that's why bringing back the same offensive line every year is important, so they know each other. They got to come out there and get used to each other.
So that's the only problem. That's the only real problem I really have with Shannon. It takes his team a minute to really start gelling instead of week 1. That's the only problem I have with him. I'm like,
we start off. We cannot start off slow every year.
Guys, let's start going. We're not ready yet. We're not here yet. We're practicing all this, making excuses.
Yeah, well, because the thing is, I hate coming from behind. Because some teams will start out the gate hot. Hawks.
Yeah.
We had to go get the Hawks before we could win the division because they was out in front so far. I said, man, this ain't right.
I mean, the only competition we're gonna have this year is gonna be the Seahawks too. So that's the only thing we got to worry about. We ain't got to worry about the Rams, and we don't got to worry about the Cardinals. So that's already 4 wins. You get 2 more. We beat the Seahawks. That's 6. So you got to win at least 4 more games somewhere in the league, and we're all right. Like I said, we're getting in the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't imagine winning the division. And as I say, if we don't, it'll be embarrassing. Terradome speaks baby. He says the baby wants to trade Kinlaw.
Well,
Yeah, you
it
know
don't
what?
matter what we do with Kinlaw. We don't lose money if we drop Kinlaw, we keep him. We don't lose anything. So he just basically he's a death piece. That's all he is now, because that means Hargrave's taking over. So that's all Kinlaw's gonna do.
But you know, you need some backup. You don't want Hargrave out there for all 4 quarters at every
No,
snap.
you don't. That's why I said that's the only thing Kinlaw would be good for. Couple downs here, give Hargrave, give him a break, give him a breather. Like Kinlaw, you go in for a couple downs, and he did, because he didn't really pan out to what we wanted him to be.
This is going to be the year, man. You know, he's going to fool us this year. He's going to bring some stuff this year.
And if he does, good, it'd be good on him. Then we can keep him for another year. But if not, as of now, you're just a death piece. Buddy. That's all you are.
Man, I tell you.
So that's all he is now.
Yeah. Well, he's got to show it this year. And as I say, his situation, his life situation, I'm pulling for him. Poor guy. My God, he gets all the way to this point to come up short? No. Come on.
I mean, it didn't happen before. It just sometimes your career's over. You gotta look back when we had Garrison Hurts. He thought his career was over. Both knees were shattered. He was done, and all of a sudden he pulled us out and then
one of the best of all time.
So it just happens. Sometimes you fall into the hole, you can't get out. Sometimes you can. It just depends on the player, how much will and power and drive that he has. Like, man, I'm committed to stay on the team and do my job. But sometimes it just doesn't pan out. It's just the luck of the draw. At those times, it's just what happens. You got to deal with it. Just try to make the best of it. I would like for Kinlaw to because Kinlaw showed light here and there. He had a couple of moments, but it's just
he did.
Dude, you just gotta stay healthy. You gotta stay ready. You know,
stay intense. And he was out of shape when he came back from not working out all season long, but just recouping, right? So that what we saw was not what he can do with regular season training. So maybe he'll be ready. We'll see. Emilio, I'll tell you what, I'm going to see you Tuesday. If you got some time, bring that little lady. Oh, you'll be at work probably Tuesday, though. All right.
Yeah, about Tuesday I'll be at work, but yeah. But I'll try to get on there.
All right. Looking for you.
See if we're hitting more news. All right, have a good night, everybody else out there.
You too, fam.
All
Night.
All
And let's go check in on Tony. Hey, Tony. Oh, Brian Culp. Hey, thank you, Ronbo. Team Culp. He does have Team Culp now. He's got 2 little ones, and it was 2 ladies to 1. Bryant was outnumbered. Then Murphy comes along. Now he's got backup. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo.
Well, Tony, we're looking at the 49ers and what they've achieved so far as free agency goes. And we're trying to assess, and they're not done yet, but at this point, we want to wonder if are they better or worse right now? And, some of the positions of need we addressed, and others you can't address them all, but then again, it seems like the priority was not offensive line. But Tony, what are you thinking?
Better or worse? I mean, some areas, they're getting better. I don't think the defensive line has been disrupted that much.
It got improved big time.
As far as trying to pick, we better get better. Well, that's all I know.
Yeah, because other teams are trying to. Yeah, that's how you. Yeah,
other
so
teams
compete.
will get better.
Yeah.
You know, and other teams will start catching up to us. You know, it's like, you know, you're a heavyweight world boxing champion. You can't be the world boxing champion forever.
Everybody wants a piece of the top. Yep.
That's right. Someone's going to knock your block off one day.
Yeah. So, yeah. And the Hawks are probably building their team right now, even as we speak, to beat the 49ers. They got to get a lot of swift defensive linemen and that type of thing. I don't know if it's going to be with Geno Smith because I think we can defend him, but,
Pete Carroll, wasn't he around when did he coach for us for a little while?
Way
Or he was
back with
part of the
Seifert.
49ers?
Way back, yeah. He
Yeah.
came out of the 49ers system. And
Yeah.
he was an SC coach, USC. And then he came to the NFL, back to the NFL, and he's incorporated a lot of what he learned from Seifert. So yeah, he altered some things, but still, that's basically Seifert's the package.
Yeah. So he was around when Bill Walsh was around too.
Oh yeah. He's been around for a long time. So he's a brilliant coach. I got to respect Pete Carroll. I used to be annoyed with him, and I didn't look at his, but he's really a talent. He can develop his players. His players really, they'll run through brick walls for him. You rarely hear anybody but Russell Wilson saying anything negative about Pete Carroll. Even Russ hasn't said anything really bad, but you can tell Russ ain't happy with him and Pete.
Well,
Pete was right about Russ.
Yeah, you see it. Yeah, he was. You see a lot of people bash the guy, you know what I mean? But when you have a look at his pedigree and where he comes from, well, you can bash him all you like, but he's been trained by the best, hasn't he?
Yeah. And he's had results. I mean, that team owned us for how long, Tony? Damn. And Carroll was there orchestrating that. It's just painful.
We just knew automatically at one stage when we're going to lose that weekend. It was just write it down. Yep, it's a loss.
And every week, Tony, I'd go into those games and, okay, we got them this time. This is it, guys. And they would proceed to just drag the 49ers up and down the field, throwing them all in the stands, doing weird things at the logo, eating turkey at a logo. Oh, that's just so disrespectful.
And I was thinking about, because you listen to Emilio now, you know what I mean? It's funny how a few kids mellows a person out. I remember Red and Gold Radio, back in the days when he used to call half the stadium, Ronbo, we're just crap. Let it go.
Yeah, I know, man. And I was livid. I used to go back and forth on that with rage. Because I would come in, every week I'd be optimistic. Emilio would come, because we stink. I'm telling you, we go lose. Milo, no, it's not. You know what's problem? Your problem is? I tell him what his problem was. I probably knew our problem. But I'd go at him. Because there was no place to take my frustration out other than Emilio coming in, pouring water on my fire. God.
But he was right.
He was. Damn it. We suck. Every week getting beat. Sometimes just beat to death. Remember, Tony, our first quarter, we'd be just raising hell. Oh, yeah, we got this. 49ers have allowed more ground running yards this year than any other team in NFL history. Why?
I remember it. And
why, Lord?
What I remember the most was no players wanted to come to the 49ers at that stage. No one wanted to sign up with us.
I mean, nobody. Some of the worst players in the league went other places. Trent Baalke couldn't offer a guy a big enough contract to come to San Francisco. Mainly because they didn't like our organization too, Tony. That's just, we had all kinds of problems. It was dismal. That's why when people say, well, I don't know about the Rams, but I tell you what, if we could win one title, I don't mind turning into crap after that. No, yeah, you would. You would 2 or 3 years later. That sucks.
No, that's ridiculous. I mean, you look at the Chiefs. They win a title, they'll try and run it back. And they don't get worse, they get better.
Yeah.
It's just that the Rams chucked everything at it and ended up.
Their money ran out.
I seriously believe, I honestly believe the same thing as you. If we didn't, our left tackle was injured, Jimmy was injured, and they just scraped by and just happened for them. But,
they did. They did. What did that guy we have, Compton or something like that, over on the right tackle? And
Tom Compton.
Yeah, and next to him, I think was Brunskill playing a guard spot, and the Rams were coming through there like it was like going into the turnstile at a concert. They were just running in. I said, they're going to blame Jimmy for this, but Jesus Christ, what's he supposed to do?
Wow, that's the question I wanted to ask you, Ronbo. Now that Jimmy's at the Raiders, who's going to win a Super Bowl first, Jimmy or Kyle?
You know, I gotta tell you, the Raiders don't have a defense. I do know that you're going to see a different Jimmy Garoppolo. He's back with the quarterback, the coach that raised him. And we saw Jimmy Garoppolo. What we saw when he first came in 2017, that was the McDaniel quarterback. All right, so he's going to resort back to that style of play. I'm pretty sure, and they'll probably be pretty potent on offense. But defensively, I don't think the Raiders have anything to stop anybody.
No, they probably don't. But as far as our team goes, I think we should go definitely O-line.
Yeah.
And with I don't know how many picks we got, but concentrate on getting some young kids to, put in a development program and maybe a safety in a corner.
Yeah. Another corner, Tony? Is that your priority?
Well, who did we lose the other day?
Well, we lost Tavares yesterday, and we lost Emmanuel.
Yeah, that's right.
Mosley.
That's right. Yeah, Tavares more. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I thought, God damn it.
These guys get, money's being offered. If I wanted a player from the 49ers, you don't have to offer much money. The 49ers can't pay him. And they're not going to get into any bidding war with anybody.
Well, we've got no money left, Ronbo.
No.
Unless someone like Chill Pill Phil says they can jiggle a few contracts around and make something.
But you know what? They have to. The 49ers, they're about $5 billion. They got about $5 billion to spend, and we haven't even drafted anybody yet. They're going to need that. That goes as soon as they finish the draft, right? Depending on how many players they keep, I guess. But beyond that, the 49ers are poor. They're going to have to do something. I don't know what they're going to do. Debo gets paid today.
Yeah. And they'll figure something out. I mean, I'm going to reserve judgment until the draft's over because every year, they seem to hit it out of the park in the later rounds and things like that. So, and tight end, people are saying tight end. I mean, do you remember that ball that Jimmy threw to Ross Dwelly on the sideline in that game? And he was going to go and score a touchdown no matter what. No one was going to stop him.
Yeah. He fell down short, just about an inch.
If you ask me, in my eyes, Kyle Shanahan, with his dual tight end sets and all this bullshit, he doesn't use him enough.
Tony, everybody agrees with that. We always wonder why Dwelly's not even suited up some weeks. But then you got guys like Croft out there who can't make a play to save his life. I don't know.
And when he's using Dwelly for blocking all the time instead of using him for what he wants to use him. I don't know. I can't figure that out.
And he's got great hands too. Tony, we're gonna go. I'll be back Tuesday looking for you, and let's see what develops between now and then.
All right, brother. Shout out to the family, and see you in the next chapter.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate you.
And one quick shout out to Donna Bell. I'd love to sit down and have a couple of beers with her.
Hey, all right. There you go, Donna Bell. All right, Tony. All right. Have a great day, actually. All right.
No worries, mate. Cheers.
Cheers. And there he is, the leader of the Dragon Clan. He is Papa Dragon. Pop.
What's going on?
Bob, we're just, trying to figure out what the 49ers are doing. You know how critical we are of what they do every offseason, even though they do always compete recently. But now we're expecting perfection. We want nothing less. If everything isn't absolutely perfect, we have got to have something to say. But you know what, Tony? I've already, I'm not hoping anything for the offensive line anymore. But you know what? But I know if anybody has perspective on that, you do. Pop, go ahead.
Well, I do think a big part of the fan base does expect perfection, and we expect fast results. But I do believe that there is a more serious group of the fan base who really are a lot more logical and think along common sense lines And I think that part of the fan base is getting pretty angry right now because of just the blatant mistakes that the team has made that has, in essence, cost the Super Bowls. Since 2019, we seem to discover somebody around the mid-season mark. They come in around week 7, week 8, or whatever, and all of a sudden they become kind of like a spark. You know what I mean? First it was Emmanuel Sanders. Then after that, we had the bad injury year. Then we had Debo rise up. And then, of course, last year we had CMC. And again, CMC is somebody we skipped over in the draft. So
not me. I had him in my mock. Okay. I just want to pick that.
No. Yeah, I definitely would have taken him over the person they took. So because of the blatant mistakes that that they've made in the money rounds, your first and your second rounds, but there's still no denying that they have done. You can look at all the bad things, but you got to look at the good things too. So, they've done a remarkable job of building an incredible roster. And even with the defections, we're going to have probably 4 or 5 compensatory comp picks coming up next year and the year after that. But make no mistake about it. I still believe that right now, at this point in time, right now, if we had to play a game on Sunday, we would lose because we don't have a quarterback. Well, we got Sam Darnold, but nobody was clamoring for Sam Darnold last year.
And he knows nothing about the offense.
Yeah, I'm just saying this in general. There's nobody in California was screaming for Sam Darnold. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, so the fact, you know something? As a matter of fact, Pop, there were people on the Sam Darnold wagon that year asking for him to be drafted.
Well, not drafted. I'm talking about last year.
Oh no. Sam hasn't been. He hasn't.
Saying trade for Sam Darnold. Let's get Sam Darnold. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, and I think we have to be careful with our expectations because Geno Smith played hell of a football last year. He really did. He played very well.
He really did.
He played very well. In fact, he had a season, except for the winning in the playoffs, you could argue better than any year that Jimmy Garoppolo's had. Making the Pro Bowl solidly, high completion percentage, making the plays he's supposed to make, move out of the pocket, throw the ball downfield, and we can't be hypocritical and kind of like diss on Geno when we got our own scrub to rehabilitate and Sam Darnold, right? And then we also have a quarterback that has become even more project because, our coach wants to play him differently. And then we have a quarterback with a tore up elbow. So to me, as it stands right now, this is not an indictment on the offseason. They've done some great things. Brad Wilk was a great hire. We picked up a safety over the weekend from Carolina. That was a good move. So we have a lot of positions already. We have 60 men right now on the roster. Okay, whoever we draft in April is going to have a very difficult time making this team. So the main thing they're going to have to do is that they need to really focus on the weak areas, and they're going to need to package these picks together. And I would take 11 picks, and I would try to turn those into about 5 picks and try to get players that could actually make the team.
I would bet on that happening anyway. The 49ers are going to keep all those picks. That's just ridiculous amount of picks.
Exactly. So it's like they really have to do their due diligence. Hopefully, I've been clamoring for them to pick up a tight end for like the last 4 years.
Oh, you and me both. And we've watched them go. I mean, there's been some good tight ends too that were available too. I still wish Giuseppe would have been on this team. But
exactly. In this system, they could be weapons, they could be cornerstones and things like that. But as it stands right now, this team they continue to make these idiotic decisions that does just piss me off. Like, I don't understand why you pay a fullback almost $8 million. That's going to be 33 next year. And Ronbo, how many times did he touch the ball last year?
Gibson?
No, I'm talking fullback.
You know, you've been talking about. You've been on Juice for the last couple of programs. You want Juice?
No,
calm.
I'm not on. I'm on the situation.
But you're
I'm
right.
on the situation. I'm on the situation.
I'm just laughing about it.
You know, because it's easy for him to sit back and collect this paycheck and judge his teammate in front of the world saying, oh, now this is 49er football, which I thought was bullshit. You don't treat your teammates like that. Okay. And you touched the ball. He touched the ball 26 times last year. Okay. Now, $8 million, you know what that is? That's Mosley. Okay. $8 million. That's J-Dub. You see what I'm saying? Players who contribute more.
In fairness, so I think Juice does a lot for that offense that goes uncharted. You know, I mean, he does a lot of things that spring people out in the open.
This is the NFL, Ronbo.
Yeah.
A fullback doesn't need to make that much money to block. Touch the ball only 26 times.
When you went to Harvard as a fullback, you got to get paid, yeah.
Oh, apparently. Now, and again, I'm not on Juice because I love Juice as a player. All I'm saying
because he can play. I'm a receiver.
Yeah, he can play ball.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that he's underutilized, and he's a big meathead, and it's very easy to see the division in the locker room because they won't choose a quarterback. There was a time there was Steve Young, and there was Joe Montana in the locker room. And, you know, Bill Walsh, it finally came down to the point where he had to choose somebody. He had to, because who do you follow? And that's the big quarterback problem that they have right now. Who do you follow? And if you pick one, will the team follow? Will the entire team follow? Right?
Or will you alienate yourself with some of the guys in the locker room? You know, Pop, you've been talking about that for a while, so I got to believe it's true. I really thought that 49ers had cultivated an atmosphere in that locker room that was counter to that type of activity. It's really sad.
They do have a winning and they have a good culture. Okay, but make no mistake about it, dude. You know, if I had been invited to Cabo, maybe I wouldn't be so salty, but I wasn't invited. I wasn't invited, man.
Are incredible.
I wasn't invited. So that's all I'm saying. You know, it's you can't, you know, if you got 4 kids, you don't look at, you know, the first one and say, okay, you're my favorite, and tell everybody around that this one's my favorite.
My mom did.
You don't play favorites. That's what I'm saying. It just ultimately creates resentment. You know what I mean? So it's like to me.
I hung Kenny out to dry every chance I got. You're right.
It's a normal psychological situation, but moving forward, I think overall, while right now they aren't as good, I will say this: I think that the cap is healthy. I think that for the most part, bringing back most of the offensive line was good continuity, it's good strategy on their part. And, you know, while I disagree with, you know, Javon coming in at defensive tackle for the money they're about to pay him, I would have liked to see that money go to the offensive line. You know, it definitely will make the defensive line better. I mean, they're better there. Yeah. But you see where the focus is. The focus is still there. I still think that this team is going to be forever, you know, governed by the ego of the head coach, who believes that his system will defeat everyone.
We got if you'd have started your conversation off with that, you could have went for 2 hours. We got to stop now, though. Always great points. I look forward to you getting in here every time. And a big show will come in and add to this, along with Phil. You 3 guys are the pivotal points of the show. Everybody gyrates around.
No, I mean it's just we just all of us collectively we all want to win a Super Bowl. We really do, but I'm just not convinced that the Yorks put winning above everything else. Because if they did,
Bob.
then he'd go to Kyle and say, hey, look, I paid $25 million already to Trey Lance, and he ain't playing. Why not?
Oh, Bob, bring it up Tuesday. We got to stop. We got to go before production cuts us off. You're cutting me
All right,
off
shout
as
out
well.
to production. Like and subscribe to Ronbo Sports. Peace out, Ronbo.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you,
Papa
fam.
Dragon.
Who's that? Yeah. Oh, hey. It's wait. Joey Boney, yeah, I'm the dua. Ooh, yeah, Joey Boney. Hey, Joey, come back. Was that you yelling at Pop?
That was me. I was saying what's up.
Yeah. What was you gonna say?
I don't know. I was just saying hi.
Joey, we're looking at the team now as far as what the 49ers have been doing, since we now feel like we have the right to criticize or appreciate what they do, no matter how far along they are. They may do some things next week and may say, oh, we were wrong about that. You know, Joey, I'm trying to think. We had one wrong about that moment this year with Hargrave, actually. I didn't think they were going to get him. I didn't even think he was even on the menu. And then all of a sudden, what? Really? So, I guess, anything's possible. It does look like they're out of money now, though. But what are you thinking, Joey? Are we get better or worse? Are there some positions that you really wish could get better? Or are they okay?
I still need an edge.
Papa Dragon is gay.
Okay, guys, listen. That is not going to continue. No more Papa Dragon is gay. We don't make LGBTQ slams. God, I don't know why people have so much trouble behaving.
Following directions.
That is so strange. Anyway, Joey, go ahead.
I just think we need an edge, bro. Like I'm not sold on Drake Jackson. I'll be honest. I do not like Drake Jackson.
Okay. He only played a few games, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I wasn't impressed from what I seen. So I would rather sign someone or draft another edge. And people keep saying, "Oh, you just gotta give him a chance. You're wrong. He's gonna be hella good." And maybe that's so. Maybe that's true.
Maybe.
I'll,
but you know what? You're right.
I'll eat my crow on that.
Joey, I do agree with you on that. As far as some players that are going to be good, they don't wait to at least flash that they're going to be good, right? You look at Nick Bosa. Well, Nick Bosa's a freak. You look at Brock Purdy. And look at Fred Warner. Some guys are going to show you that I can play in this league right away. Maybe not consistently in the beginning, but they're going to show you they can do this. I don't know.
I really want to sign Jadeveon Clowney, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I really want to sign Jadeveon Clowney, and I'm gonna stick to that. I saw someone said I was reading, I don't know where it was. It was on one of my 49er Facebook groups, I think, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the 49ers are close to signing Jadeveon Clowney," and I
don't be
commented,
surprised.
and I said, "Don't play with me like that."
No, really. You know what? They shocked me with Hargrave. I could see where they could shock me with Jadeveon Clowney. They got to figure out where to manipulate some other salary, though. I don't know how they're going to go about doing that unless it's just an outright cut.
But I just read that they restructured Fred Warner and it freed up $9.5 million. So is that true or is that not true?
And yet still for that has already been used, and they're $5 million a little over the cap now, or under, should I say, that they can use. But we haven't drafted anybody yet. I don't know how they're going to do this. They got to. I don't know who else they're going to restructure. We don't have a lot of big contracts they haven't restructured already.
They still got Trent. They still got.
I think they didn't do Trent.
Well, I read one article that said that they could clear up $14 million in cap just by restructuring Trent Williams.
Really?
So we'll see.
He might be. He might be okay with that.
But I want to talk about who they got interest in, because there's one name that I really like. It was a guy that I really wanted in the draft a couple of years back, and that's Lonnie Johnson, the cornerback, formerly of the Texans.
I forgot what he looked like.
He was with the Titans last, and he was really good in college. I think Mel Kiper or like whoever, like when they show the highlights when people get drafted, and they always have those comps for like, oh, this player is who I think they might be, and his comp was Xavier Rhodes, and he was a pretty good corner.
And you compare it to Xavier,
you know,
that's high.
So
Yeah.
the fact that we're interested in him, I'd really like that. Obviously, like we got Isaiah Oliver, who's really good, but I would not mind bringing in if we can afford it, Lonnie Johnson, if it's a cheap deal.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You got a lot of guys in that cornerback room, and I don't think all of them are going to make it as it is. Man.
But you know how the Niners are though, bro. I mean, come on, like how many years have we been with Kyle Shanahan, and they give all these contracts, and then they're guaranteed contracts, and then they cut them, like they don't even use them. Like,
I mean,
there's so
make a
many
big deal out of it too. Announce it, and he doesn't even get out of camp.
I remember in I forget what year it was. It was like 2017, 2018. And I forget the guy's name, but he was a running back. There's a name I never even heard of, and they gave him like a 3-year, fully guaranteed contract, and then they cut him like before preseason. And I was like, well, what was the point of that?
Hey, did he come over from the Jets?
I don't remember. I don't, dude. He might have even been like a UDFA, or someone I just never heard of, but I just remember it because all my friends were like, well, what was the point in that? And I just remember it was like one of the early years with Kyle Shanahan. I want to say 2017, 2018, and he was a running back. And I never even heard his name. And it was for 3 years, Ronbo. The contract was for 3 years, and it was fully guaranteed. And then they cut him before preseason, bro.
Depending on if you make the team, yeah. And, of course...
If you make the team.
Yeah. Right. Then they look up and see, well, I don't think he's going to make this team. What about his contract? That's the way it goes. Boom! He's out of here. Can you imagine how pissed off that player is? Man. And he thinks he's better than some of the guys they kept, for sure.
Yeah, and then think about the quarterback. I can't think of the guy's name, but the quarterback we had last year, that was the third string. Like he had a lot of guaranteed money too.
Oh, the tall guy, the $2 million contract that Brock Purdy beat out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh, what was that?
I forget his name, but yeah.
Never liked him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. So the 49ers they're capable of hurting people's feelings. Fortunately, it's not us. We just watch from afar and go, oh man, But the guy who got cut, what's he saying? We can't repeat it on the air.
Right. Oh. Man, did you see how many draft picks we have for next year, Ronbo? That's crazy. Like
they wouldn't let us have all of them.
Up.
This year we at 11. They cut you off at 11 apparently, and next year you're right. We got all these comp picks we keep getting.
We got like 4 or 5 third-round picks next year, Ronbo.
Plus our regular picks round 1 through 7.
That's what I'm saying. We have like 3 or 4 comp picks, and then we still have our regular third-round pick. So in total, we have like 4 or I don't know if it's 4 or 5, but total that's including your regular third-round pick. I think we have like 4 or 5, bro. We have like 4 or 5.
Remember when Trent Balk used to be called the draft guru? I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
no.
The draft ninja.
Guru.
He was a draft ninja.
He gets the picks, but then he would screw up all the picks.
Yeah. He was a ninja, but he wasn't. He'd bring trash back. So the 49ers, I wonder if you can use those picks. So like if I want to make a deal before the draft and I have those 11 picks, can I use some of those picks? Probably not. It wouldn't make sense because if I got over 11 picks, I call the league office and say, listen, I've got 14 picks and I want to use some of those picks. If I keep it down to 11, are we good to go? No, Kyle. You guys are always, of course not. That's the point of being limited. I already know what's going to happen, but I try.
Right. Right. Yeah. I will say this though, man. Those Lions, man, they're looking nice, bro. They're gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough this year. And did you know they got the 6th overall pick and the 18th overall pick, and they got 2 in the 2nd round.
And who
they've been loading up in free agency.
And who they pick up today?
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from Philly. They're going to be a good team, Ronbo. They're going to be a good team, Ronbo.
Don't tell me. We've been laughing at Don Bird. Now we can't laugh at him anymore. Because you know what? On paper, they look scary. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I got them winning their division, bro. They're going to be tough.
Lions?
They're going to be tough.
Who else is that? Bears? Green Bay's going to get their ass killed next year.
Yeah, and Vikings.
Vikings.
It'll be Vikings and Lions this year.
They can beat the Vikings?
It'll be Vikings.
They win the NFC.
Tough. It'll be tough.
Man.
Least? NFC least? I don't know.
Damn it. Now Don Bird's got bullets. He can actually shoot back. Don Bird, you're still not going anywhere. You know what? Until you guys win it, I'm saying the same thing I said before. You're not going anywhere.
Is Don Bird a Lions fan? Is he a Lions fan, Don Bird?
Oh, huge. Oh, my God. He's the guy, he calls him Detroit against everybody. You know, interrupted people's calls and everything else. Just Joey.
Oh, man.
We got to go. Clock is running quick. I'll see you Tuesday, though, okay?
I got you.
Detroit's still worth a penny, probably.
Oh, God. Here we go.
I'll see you Tuesday.
Hey, man. Shout out to you, Ronbo. Shout out to all the callers, man. Shout out to the entire Niner Empire, man. Bang, bang, Niner gang, man. And, shout out to production, man. I know whoever it is that helps you with this show, man, shout out to them, man, because this is a wonderful show you got, Ronbo. And
thanks, Joey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Look forward to seeing you Tuesday. All right.
All right, buddy.
Bye, Joey. And it comes. Tony wants to take her out to have a couple of beers because he loves the way Donna Bell talks some football. Donna.
Hello, hey, Ronbo.
Hey, Donna. How you doing tonight?
How are you?
I'm doing great, because Don, you're always going to catch me this time of season always feeling great because we ain't playing no games. I get mad after a game, especially if we barely got away and people start talking about, but I get very emotional about this game of football. And so everything, you're on stress city for 17 weeks. And if we go to the playoffs like we did last year, that's 20 weeks. That's almost half the year. You're angry as can be. Oh, we shouldn't have lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, see, that's why I don't want to. Let me not get into that, Donna Bell. This is your call, and not for me to start crying. Okay, now, I was talking about did we get better or worse? Are there some areas on this team that you'd like to see improved that they don't seem to be putting enough effort into and all that good stuff, Donna?
Ronbo, I don't know why. Well, I don't, but I do. I believe they're going to get, is it Hayner? I got a feeling they're going to draft Hayner, use one of them compensatory picks on Hayner, and he may fall. I see him maybe in the third round.
Position?
Willing, but I think they're going to draft him.
What
I just
position?
keep seeing a lot of chatter. He's a QB.
Ooh. Oh, is he that guy that everybody's been talking about? That name sounds, yeah.
Yeah, played with a jacked up hip and an adductor and won the championship from Fresno State.
Donna, that sounds like our kind of, the guy from Fresno State that everybody loves. He's the kind of guy that we need who can play broke up in pieces and still play ball.
Yes, exactly, because he won the championship, broke up like a pretzel, apparently.
I mean, that's a football player, a guy that refuses to be denied. Gotta love it.
Now, I wonder will that count against him as far as his health? You know what I mean? When being drafted, that's why I think he'll fall.
Yeah,
in the draft.
He may be. He's getting treatment right now, and because he didn't show up for the combine, I would guess, right? So
I don't think he did.
I mean, I don't know how he could with his body being.
I don't know if he had a pro day or what. I'm not sure, but I think the 49ers. I know that Kyle really, really likes him.
Oh, with that kind of mental toughness, I think a lot of coaches probably like him. That guy's a maniac. If you can play at a level, what's he like when he's healthy then? Oh, my God.
Absolutely. And then my thing is the O-line. I'm concerned about the O-line. Okay, to me, our defense, we set. We was already ready, but we needed one or two pieces. We got, 3, maybe 4?
We got 3 we depend on. Burford might be okay.
You think so? What about like the safeties?
Oh,
And
no,
the
a different
nickel.
position there. The cornerback room, I have faith in them because of the coach. What they don't know, he'll teach them.
You talking about Wilkes?
Yeah, that's his thing. He pulled over one of his guys from the Panthers. I suspect he knows something about Hartsfield that went unnoticed, but he's going to have those guys playing at a high level. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, I know it was somebody I saw on YouTube. It was someone plays in the NFL, and who was it that contacted him? I don't know if it was. I can't remember who it was. One
You
of
play
our
for us?
players contacted a player from another team.
Oh, okay.
I think the team Wilkes came from, I guess, and they had glowing reviews about him.
Yeah,
They were
Wilkes.
saying you put him on D. It might have been Fred Warner, somebody,
All right,
or
well,
Bosa. One of them. They wanted to find out how this Wilkes was as a coach, and they gave glowing remarks. They said
glowing
you're gonna
reviews.
love him.
Panthers messed up by not hiring him as a head coach. I don't know why they wouldn't got ruled. What'd you do, Panthers?
See, that's what gives me pause. If you got somebody and he's that good, not questioning his ability, but ain't nobody perfect. Everybody had their flaws, but I'm wondering what is his. Meaning, is it going to be a detriment to the team?
Yeah, well, Donnie, your microphone sounds a little different this time. Are you doing anything different? You sound a little muffled.
Can you now?
No, it got worse.
Hold on. Well, that's this this free phone. Hold on.
Donna went ahead and told us he had a free phone. Donna.
Old Snap benefit phone. I'm telling my business, but that's all right. Praise God. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, though. Wilkes was actually in Arizona, right, for a minute, and he lost that job. I don't know. Arizona's not a good place for any coach to go, though. That's been proven now. So,
Yeah.
I think defensively, though, he cannot do anything but help. So I got faith in him.
Okay. Well, then I'll leave it at that. Our O-line, I miss some of our players. And the kicker, we got to do something about a kicker.
See,
my
I'm
thing
worrying
is,
me to death. Worrying me to death.
Some kickers coming out. But my thing is, they've got to be coached up and, set up for the NFL, if I understand correctly. So in the meantime, I don't want no Maher flubs. Them cowgirls.
No, that is, nothing lets the wind all out of your body like them. Kickers going up there, you need him desperately to get that ball down through those uprights. And he misses wide to the left or right. Oh, man.
He's on the Cowboys, so he can't help but lose.
God,
Yeah.
Wow. So Robbie, I want him to come back. People say, man, come on, Ronbo, man. Robbie's too old anyway. It's time for us to get another kicker. I know you guys say that like it's just like you can just replace that same production with just anybody.
Like he's garbage. And I think he's still good to me. I'm not saying he got a leg like when he was 20, but to me, they still be going up through them uprights. So what's the problem?
He will not let you down when you most need him. Now, he had a couple of moments last year like he does every year, but his percentages are just as good or better than most quickers around the league. And when you really need him in the playoffs, Robbie is going to be straight money. I want him. And when his leg falls off and when the ball starts coming up short is when I let Robbie go. But between now and then, no. Bring Robbie back.
That's what I say. I don't know. Dave Lombardi said he talking about, well, I think they're just playing chicken. No, Robbie ain't got to play chicken because he, low key, he really wants to retire anyway.
And go back to his family. Exactly. Kids be grown and he's just not coming home. He doesn't want that.
But you know what? He the one that, of course, he the one that stopped turfing on the Cowboys. But of course, and he's 41. They talk about he ran into his own player. No, he didn't. He ran into number 9.
And Robbie doesn't. You know what I love about Robbie too? Whenever somebody comes out on the field thinking I'm just a little a lightweight kicker, what he did to Jalen Ramsey is epic. Jalen come out there.
Yeah.
Robbie went over there on purpose, kicking the ball over on his side of the field. Jalen took exception to that. He ran over and had a few words with Robbie. Robbie stood right up to it.
They always do. Robbie don't like it. Robbie ain't no punk either.
I know. he fooled me, you know. And him and Ramsey get into it every time they see each other. They say, get him, Robbie. I love it.
Yes, indeed. I keep it long, and I'm not even paying attention to the comments because the Cowboys, they shouldn't even talk. They supposed to be in
Texas
hiding.
boy. I just anyway, Donna.
I know
You heard Tony give you a shout out tonight, right?
Now, who was it? What's his name that gave me a shout out?
And that was Tony. Yeah, Tony, he likes you. And he says, yeah, I'd love to have a couple of beers with Donna sometime.
Hey, Tony, you can overnight me a couple of beers. No, I don't drink like that, so you don't have to. But we'll hang out. You call in, I call in, and we talk about these Cowboys because they stay in our stuff and them Rams, Lord
Oh,
Jesus.
God, I know. I have no idea what gives them the audacity to think. But anyway, Donna, I tell you what, I'll be back Tuesday looking for you, okay? Just have a great night.
Okay. I'll talk to you then. Love you all. God bless you. Bang, bang, 90 gang. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Donna. Good night. And let's go check out Elvis. Well, let's go ahead and thank Rudy for his comment. Even though it was just it's silly. Probably win a Super Bowl. Detroit probably wins a Super Bowl before Santa Clara does. Rudy, if they do, that means they'll win 2 before you do. Okay? Because the Rams, well, as a team, we're talking about a dumpster fire that I'm talking 5 signals, man. They got 20 trucks down there trying to put that fire out. And he's talking. Hey, Ellis!
Yo.
Ellis, I know you know what we're talking about tonight. What are you thinking?
What the hell are we talking about?
We're talking about getting better or worse. Because at this point, you can't really make a total assessment until after the draft. But and even then, you can because the draft is only going to give you players with potential to come in the NFL and do some things. But so far, are we a better team? If we had to go out and play tomorrow, would we be fine or what?
Sorry, say that last part again, Ronbo.
Going by what we've done so far with free agency, picking up some players we picked up, and the money being spent.
Oh,
we get better or worse?
We get better. We got worse.
Okay.
One thing we can agree on is that we didn't replace or fulfill with the players that we did lose. We have not fulfilled all of those spots, and we'll have to actually see how. We won't know anything until the season comes and we see these guys that we have acquired. So there's no real way to tell. I'm not gonna be able to say that for sure and get a definitive answer on that one just because I haven't seen any of these guys play. We've seen Javon Hargrave play, and he's real good. I just still think we overpaid for him.
And you always do in free agency. You have to, because there's a bidding thing going on. If we didn't pay him, somebody else would have paid him that, and then we lose out. That's the whole nature of free agency.
Yeah.
That's why the 49ers try to avoid that every year, but you really can't, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, but we got 4 or 5 already compensatory picks for next season.
I think so. I hadn't counted. I know it's a lot.
All the guys.
Yeah.
Between Amenahue and Sampson and a couple of other guys. We got Jimmy. We got a couple of picks. We got at least 4 or 5 already.
I think you just named 5
picks.
right there too.
Yeah. Between those 3 guys.
And we got a full slot of picks next year from round 1 to 7. So right now.
Yeah. Right. Well, we better not give up any damn first-round picks because we haven't not been in the first round for a couple of seasons in a row. It's kind of over the top. So I don't think we should do anything to compromise any first-round pick. We don't need to do it.
Anyway.
There's nothing in the draft that we could get this year that would be that serious for us to go that route and give up a future first-rounder.
And you can't afford a first-round pick this year. They're too expensive,
Well, that's
not this year.
I mean, for next year.
Well, next year.
I'm saying for next year, it wouldn't be there. I don't think there's anybody worth us doing that. We could find another way to make something like that happen and get and get up in around around 2 or late first round. But I don't think we're not in need to have to do that. We're not in.
We have to go up the first round
the
and trade
needs
up.
aren't that pertinent.
Yeah.
Yeah, offensive, defensive line we can replenish in the third round and on. We don't need a running back. We don't need a wide receiver. We can get quarterback in a later round. We can get running backs in a later round, undrafted and all that. So we don't need to be in the first or second round this year. It's not that serious. We'll be fine.
Yep, I agree. Because when your team is as good as this one, you only need to get one of them. Whoa, look at that gem. We're looking for gems. See, rather than just scoring a big pick. So, best BPA is what we want anyway this year. But the 49ers are going to actually shoot for offensive guards. I mean, offensive players, offensive linemen probably. And what else do we slightly need? Tight end. Yeah, I want – this is a rich tight end class. You got to get one of them. Got to get one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler Croft better not be on this team. That's all I know.
God. I mean, wow. We didn't lose any games because of him, but if he would have made – my God, Tyler, you got to make that catch. Oh, it's too late now.
I mean, look, a half a second or a full second longer and Brock gets the ball off. He could have held that block longer than that.
Yeah.
He could have held it for a millisecond longer. Brock gets the ball off for a full second. He gets the ball off, and it never happens.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, we even get a flag. You know what I'm saying? If he gets hit, but he doesn't get hit.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to draw him in longer, farther enough. Yeah. So we get a flag and we get a play. I mean, it's just. Anyway.
May not need it because
like
what they're saying is
it
might have been a touchdown.
Yeah, like you always say, it's too late.
Yeah. I always try to calm myself down. That's my calm down phrase. It's too late. I mean, it's just at the moment now, it's, God, lost the game.
I want to definitely want to see Drake Jackson. I'm hoping that he's, working hard. Putting on some more muscle mass, getting his endurance up, getting his body in shape. I think he will. I think he's serious, and he doesn't look like the type of guy that's going to just sit around, lay around, and accept the fact that the coach kind of put you on blast that you wasn't ready, your body wasn't ready. He already knows that about himself.
It is embarrassing.
Yeah, but I feel like he already knew that himself, so he's going to come bigger, better, faster, stronger, and more prepared for the season.
I mean, I would have been like Kyler Murray and said, "Hey man, why you need to tell everybody that, Coach? You just told everybody I was soft."
Right.
Well, you played 8 games and you gave out. I mean, what am I? Damn.
Right. Yeah, he's got to come better than that. And then the depth thing, that we've been able to benefit from for the past 3-4 seasons that I always talk about that separated us from other teams. We gotta figure out a way to get back to that place of depth. So hopefully we're not done, on the market as far as free agency, and if not, maybe we can acquire some guys that will be we can utilize early on, and that we don't have to necessarily wait to get up to speed, and we can replenish that depth. And hopefully sign Jordan Willis. I don't know how much money. I mean, how much money could he possibly want? I know he needs to get paid though, because he's been, we got him for what? We got him for a 6th or 7th round pick. We got him.
Yeah, what is
a couple of seasons ago.
Oh yeah, what is his status though? Is he restricted or? Oh, you can't do that with draft picks, can you? You can only do that with UDFAs. No, you could do that. You can designate any player in that ranking you want, can't you? Willis should have been gone. If I was a GM, I'd lure him away with whatever the 49ers are paying you. I'm willing to go $1 million above that because they know the 49ers have no money. If Willis wants to go somewhere else, 49ers are not going to argue with whoever he's going with. Because I like Willis.
Well,
my God, he makes big play Willis. Man.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot out of him, and that has a lot to do with Coach Coach K.
Yeah.
And he gets the best out of guys. You don't get coaches like that. Those are like we say generational players. He's a generational coach.
Yeah. You're right. Tom Sula was good,
but
Kosuric is that's another story.
Yeah. So I don't know. What's the deal with Debo? Did he get paid or something today? I saw something.
No, his contract kicks in starting now.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So yeah, like Nick next year at this time we said, Nick's contract kicks in today. Have we got any money left? So.
Yeah. Well, we better do something. I mean, hopefully they're working on something with Brandon Ayuk, and trying to figure out what they're going to do with that. And unless they're going to, try to keep him another year and kind of hold him off a little bit. But I don't know, man.
Would you keep him?
If you're going to free up some money.
On Instagram, I've seen people, oh man, we can't afford to pay. We make Ayuk an offer, but cut it off right here. I said, some of y'all, if it was you, would you want somebody saying cut you off before you get your payday? What is that? Why do people talk like that? Ayuk's worth whatever contract they offer him. He's been invaluable. He's the best route runner we got. He could go downfield. We don't have a lot of guys who can go downfield. I mean, they can run, but people don't understand the difference between a deep threat receiver and just an average receiver. I think it's all about the quarterback. But you know what? Ayuk can go get it. Danny, I'm still waiting for him. What?
Yeah, and we need Danny Grady to come around too. We need to need him to come around too. Hopefully, Brandon Ayuk's talking to him, and he's kind of giving him the scoop because the importance of blocking. He said no block, no rock when we drafted him. If you knew it was no block, no rock at your initial press conference after you got drafted by us, then you had a whole season to get that shit together. So I'm not sure, but it takes
why
time.
Kyle drafted
he's kind of light in the pants.
Oh yeah,
he's not super big and strong, so he's got to get a little bulkier. You know what I mean, and get some more weight, get some of that NFL aggression, and that NFL strength under within his body, and he'll be more productive. I think he's still good. I just hope he's not an injury-prone guy because it seemed like he was getting hurt.
Like
he wasn't even barely getting any
fast guys.
Kick.
Fast guys always pull up at that hammy every time.
Remember how many times we saw?
Goodwin?
What the hell is his name? I forgot his name. Yeah,
Marquise
how many
Goodwin.
times we saw Goodwin fall down or get up hella slow or not get up? And you're like, oh, here we go again. Wasn't he just hurt the last play? Get up and go.
The body's not meant to move. Humans are not meant to move like that fast. That's why the muscle tissue can't deal with it. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Now he's a Seahawk.
Yeah, well, yeah. And he didn't get us like I was worried he was going to do. I will see you Tuesday and see what develops between now and this time at
That's the bad, fam.
Headquarters, Santa Clara.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, fam.
I appreciate you.
Hey, shout out to that squad.
Sir. Shout out to the faithful.
Yeah.
Thank you, family. Yeah. Shout out production. Hit that like, subscribe. Y'all know where you're at.
Thanks,
man.
And
I told Rudy earlier, man, the Rams will probably be moving they're probably going to move that team in the next 7 to 10 years because they're going to
be less than that.
They're going to be worth nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because they can't pay the rent. Rams cannot help the team pay the rent. That'll do it.
Box of mothballs. Box of mothballs. Old school. Anyway, peace and love.
All right, Ellis. A great night, man. I could just see him tell the Rams owner, we're thinking about bringing in a new club. So we didn't mean to. We're just telling you right now. We're projecting the next 2 to 3 seasons. You guys are gonna have to vacate the premises. Do them just like the Raiders. Raiders, you got to move. Hey, Bethel.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Bethel, man, we're sitting and looking at our team and what they've done so far since the playoffs and wondering, are we a better team or a worse team? What are you thinking?
They cannot say anything until after the draft. Because
True.
After the draft, you can see who you get, who, you put in and stuff like that. If you met everything that you lost. Because
Bethel,
a lot of the
that's true. But you look at the guys, they're proven guys. When you bring those guys in free agents, you know what they're capable of doing. Not necessarily going to do it because it could be a change in program, could take away what they'd look good doing wherever they came from. But with a draft, you know that they might come in. The potential is high, and they may not even play for a few months. But with the free agency, you know those guys are going to play. They're getting paid too much not to, and we still have an offensive line situation that nobody agrees is going to be a good one, except for the left side. Bethel, should we stop crying about the offensive line? We have probably a better offensive line than most teams. From left to center, we're solid. And Burford might be solid too. We may be one guy short of being very good. But that one guy worries us all to death. It does me, for sure.
Yeah. Mike McGlinchey worried us, and look at how much money he got.
And that's why the point I said we're not paying him.
Paid. Yeah. So, and another thing that people should realize is that if I remember right, ain't we're still playing D Ford 8. Imagine if we were not paying those 8, we would have used that money for something. But
is it that much?
We restructured his contract so much that we're paying him 8.
That's
and
right.
He's not even how long has he not even played for us?
That was Bethel. You know what? I didn't realize that. They took out an insurance. He took an insurance policy out. So even after I leave, y'all have to pay me for the next 3 years because you extended me for like 20 years. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you restructure people's contracts.
Got to extend
That's
the
why
years.
sometimes they don't. Yeah, that's why some players you don't want to do it, and some players you do.
You can give bonuses out. I mean, I'd rather give a guy a large bonus to redo his contract, give him a huge bonus to cover that cost, so the money's come out the same, but I don't owe him for the rest of my the franchise's life.
Yeah, because it's like Trent Williams. If you do his, and say he retires, you're still gonna have to pay him.
For how many years that go beyond his contract?
Yeah,
that's $8 million. We're paying him $8 million a year.
Yeah,
that does go against the cap, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So, so that's why you got to think who you're gonna do, who you're not gonna do, and you just gotta, worry it later on. But and
or you end up like the Rams. The Rams are still owing a lot of people money. That's why they had to cut people straight up, because they just couldn't afford it. I mean, they had 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
They got rid of all those guys they had to. They didn't have a choice.
I remember Matthew Stafford was thinking of retiring because he wasn't sure he was going to play this year. So I don't know if he's still going to retire or not. So and he still gets all his money even though he retires.
And that's the kind of contracts you got to sign. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just you gotta see, and then plus one thing I seen too that a lot of the people we lost were all B tier guys, and we always pay our A tier guys. And we always let go of the beer tea guys, and we always replenish them, and we get somebody else, and it always works out. So that's another thing that people should think about. That's how we always done it. We always get other people's trash, and we make them into gold.
Mm-hmm.
And we get you paid.
Yeah.
So
Arden Key, now Cleveland Farrell. Yeah, watch Farrell turn out to be good.
Yeah, there's a lot of players that we have got from other teams, and that's why they come here, because they're all like, what? We're a good coach system. We know how to coach them up, and because of this defense, because of these players, get out the potential out of them.
And our organization has an integrity and intelligence above most.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
why the 49ers right now are sitting on top of the heap, especially in the NFC.
Look at the guy that we got off the Rams. He was better with us. He was doing better with us, and now he got his money and he's up. Yeah. And with the Rams, he didn't do shit. So
by the Rams, say goodbye.
That tells you. Yeah. So, it's, you just, we gotta just stay calm and believe in the process and, hope, everything goes good, and let's see how the season goes, because, I don't know how many times we have cried about a lot of stuff, and it usually goes good.
Yeah.
So,
that's
it's just, yeah. So, that's why I don't worry about anything, because, you could cry all about it, but if it goes okay, then, you didn't have nothing to worry about.
Can you imagine? Stanley Dollar has the Rams moving to Toronto. I couldn't help but to laugh at that. Toronto Rams, that'd be so funny. We're not going to. They'd be out in the NFC West. They'd have to be. That's the East Coast.
Ronbo, imagine we gave up all these picks for CMC, and look at all the picks that we still have.
And CMC, the dividend was awesome. CMC's that dude is good. So
and I actually told you last year about Ayuk. I said that he was gonna do what he's gonna do, and if we it depends how we do Debo's contract. We're gonna have to worry how we're gonna pay
Ayuk. Because the 49ers are going to draft a wide receiver. They're always going to be looking to see if they can avoid having to pay contracts. It's just the nature of the business, right? So we're going to see Ayuk. I hope they don't try to lowball him.
But the other thing is that, remember, the center, we're not going to pay him this year a lot of money. We actually got a good deal on him. So he actually took less money to play with us, because the Jets were going to pay more money. He was going to get more money with the Jets, and he was going to play next to one of his players that the Jets have. But he decided to come stay with us.
Wait, no, Tomlinson with the Jets. Yeah, he is with the Jets. That's right.
Oh, no.
Isn't Lakin? Where'd Lakin
go? On the line. He's on the offense line, actually.
Yeah, no. Isn't Lakin Tomlinson? Where did he go?
Yeah. I think he's with the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Anyway.
And then another thing that, we all thought that our defense coordinator was going to take a lot of our players, and the Titans end up taking a lot of our players. We're not worrying about that.
Because one of our people out the front office went over there, and he knows who's worth taking, and he took them.
Yeah.
Damn. Fine.
So, we're not worried about them, but.
So that's the thing, though, Bethel, about our people going all over the league like that. They know who to tell people, who to take from that organization, what they can afford, what they can't afford. If we make this offer, guarantee you he'll be in a Titan uniform tomorrow, wherever team we're talking about, right? I say, oh, man, that's...
I barely remembered. If they have a lot of good draft picks, they're going to probably get a lot of players that we want in the draft, and we might miss out on some of those players. It depends if we need them or not.
Well,
I have a feeling we might trade some of our picks from next year and probably try to go up, to get alignment maybe.
Bethel, not this year, because it's not really necessary. The team isn't really in that bad a shape. Now, next year might be a good idea to see if you can get some excellence in the first two rounds. But this year, I don't know. We'll see.
So you rather stay in the third round and pick in the third round than go up?
This year, yeah. This year, we're not bad. As bad as we complain about that offensive line, it's not that bad. But Bethel, we're gonna have to go. We're out of time. I'll see you Tuesday. Okay.
All All right. See you Tuesday. Don't worry about it. Relax. And plus, remember, if I remember right, the GOAT was a 5-8 record.
Yeah.
Tom Brady only won, and he still made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, as long as he won his division.
Yeah, great players are going to make that happen. So we could go 5-8
Yeah.
and still win the division. We got to worry about the Hawks, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rudy Rams.
Hey,
nah.
and another thing. Remember,
Real quick,
that the Seahawks quarterback scored a lot of points on everybody except the Niners. We're the only ones that actually kept them below their average.
Touche.
Yep. All right, let's go Niners and punch the light.
Thanks, fam.
Right, good night.
And that goes for everybody. Nobody could really score a lot of points on the 49ers. The Chiefs got away. But remember, there were some circumstances involved in that game that helped the Chiefs get past us like that. Yeah, the Falcons did beat the 49ers up. You're going to have a couple of games a year that you should have won. And maybe one game you should have won and a game you should have lost. We had that. So, it's a big show. Come on in, Joe.
What's going on, Ronbo?
So we're sitting back here, and you're the perfect guy to ask if we get better or worse. I already know what you're going to say. But, Show, elaborate beyond that.
Right now, we've gotten worse.
Ooh, I'm surprised.
Because of the amount of depth we lost.
Yeah. That's true, though. Absolutely
believe it or not, it's going to take a while for these guys that we're going to be drafting later on in the third round to
get up to speed.
At least a year or two to get up to par with our playbook and everything like that, because that's exactly what they do to players like Aaron Banks, and they sat him for a year because it took him a while to get up to par. He was drafted in the second round.
And now it looks
in the
good.
late second round, I believe.
Yep.
And now he looks good. And that's kind of what I have a feeling about that we're going to be doing with some of the players that we're going to be drafting beyond the third round.
And I think that's pretty much a rule all the time. And you could get a prodigy or a kid that could come right in and just play from day one, like they always say in the draft magazines. But it's not normal.
Mm-hmm. But there are some bright spots. Obviously, the defensive line, the starters we improved upon, which we always do every year because they put emphasis on the defensive line over everything else.
Right.
Number one over everything else, which I don't understand why, because every year it's been the same result. I that's one thing that pisses me off about this current regime is, like, why don't you just spread the wealth around and go into other areas and prioritize them and see what happens? You know what I mean? Because that could be the difference maker that might have gotten us over the hump. For example, the quarterback room, which we still haven't gotten better at right now.
So you know what? As long as Shannon has that attitude he has, that I can score on anybody with whatever I have, you're gonna have to. He's gonna do it every time.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that we have an offensive minded quote guru coach as head coach, and he always drafts defense first. I don't understand that.
He believes in that.
We have a ton of. We've gotten slightly better in the secondary with bringing on Javarius Ward last year, but we lost Emmanuel Mosley. We lost Jimmy Ward.
Really bothers me. I like Mosley. Dang it.
And we had the opportunity to get C.J. Gardner-Johnson for only $8 million a year for 1 year, and we missed that.
Who was that that picked him up today?
That wasn't a perfect. It was the Lions.
Oh, that's right. We just got through laughing about that, which was not funny.
And Ronbo, it's Detroit versus everybody is what John Burr says.
Can you imagine? Do we play them this year?
I don't know. I don't know, but they're up and coming, as well as the Chicago Bears.
I don't want to. I don't want to play the Lions, because if something should go wrong, oh God!
I wouldn't be surprised if those two teams make it into the playoffs this year.
Chicago's got a lot of picks and a lot of money, don't they? I haven't heard about anybody signing with them, though.
Oh, they got T.J. Edwards. They got Terrell Edmonds, both of the stud linebackers.
Edmonds, that's right.
And they're in their 20s, and they're both 25, and they're both very highly scored on PFF right now.
Yeah, Edmonds, I forgot. I wanted him in the draft that year.
Yeah,
offensive weapons,
and,
do they get offensive linemen is what they need in Chicago as well?
I'm not quite sure. Oh, they got Nick Gates from, I believe, the Giants, a really good guard. I think it was a right guard. So they improved on their offensive line. They saw that. They knew that was a disaster, and they immediately addressed that, which is why I don't understand why we didn't address that. We need help from center right. I like Jake Brindle, but
let me share this with you, though. I got a feeling the 49ers don't feel the way the masses do about that offensive line. They think that offensive line is fine.
They're hiding.
I'm sure they do. I think they do. I understand not playing Michael Glitchy, but not playing anybody else? I don't know.
Look at the Chiefs, what they did to their offensive line. They tore it down to the studs, and then they won the Super Bowl. They allowed 0 sacks in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we do that?
We didn't even try to bother holding Brunskill. So, do you know he didn't give up any sacks? He only had a couple of pressures. We didn't pay him. We let him go.
Yeah. He was overrated anyways. I don't care what.
Well, I just want somebody who can play the spot. If I can't get anything else. Burford, I like Burford, but what's that other guy's name?
Jason Poe.
No, he played guard. He played guard. I mean, he played right guard, but he's actually a tackle. Like, you know how we do.
Is his name Nick something? I can't pronounce his last name.
No, oh God, I don't know why I can never keep that guy's name on my mind. He didn't play much last year. He played left tackle, right tackle for us that year when Trent Williams was out. Or did he play left tackle? He played left tackle. Trent Williams was coaching him up on every snap. Anyway, we got him late round.
If we draft a receiver with our first 99th pick, that's trouble for Danny Gray.
Yeah, that means we're replacing him, especially if it's a speedster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And look out for a name like Trey Palmer, who ran a 4.33. So out of Nebraska.
Yeah. How big is he?
He's 6'1".
Does he go near? Is he 200 pounder?
I think.
Is it because
he's near 200 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, because
like
Richie James.
I think.
Yeah, because people don't understand, but Richie James never played not because of his football ability, but because he can't block.
Yeah. So, and we need a complimentary tight end, which they still have not addressed. I'm tired of Kittle always getting hurt every year and taking a load, which he doesn't need to be doing. Like, it's beginning to become tiresome. Like seeing the same shit happen every year and nothing happens.
Plan on it this year. Plan on it this year. I know Colton McKivitz, not him. This guy, a black kid that just came out last year. I think it was his rookie year, and he played a little bit. No, the year before last. That's right. He played a little bit.
Shout out to Donna Bell. She was talking about Jake Haener from Fresno State,
my
neck of the woods, who I saw play. He also has a couple of teammates who are really good that are coming up that are draft eligible this year. Jordan Mims, a running back who reminds me of a baby Derrick Henry. He's played all 14 games throughout his entire career in college. The exception of his freshman year, which he was a redshirt, he only played 9. You should look him up, Ronbo. He is huge dude. His name is Jordan Mims. He's a running back from Fresno State. Also, Jalen Cropper, his wide receiver, that he threw to quite frequently. It reminded me of a lot of Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, the connection of those two, Jake Haener and Jalen Moreno Cropper. So, yeah, that's who Donna Bell was talking about earlier, Jake Haener, who we might draft.
Jalen Moore. Thank you, Jedi. Jalen Moore.
Yeah, Jalen Moore.
He's got real slow feet.
I don't know what to make of him.
Yeah, his feet are slow. I'll watch him. It takes him too long from the brain to the feet to move, because he knows what he's doing, but he just can't get there. So.
And I'm honestly quite tired of rotating these guys from left to right. I mean, that's another issue I have. I like playing players at their natural positions, like just because they're versatile. PFF has
That's the thing. They're usually not.
PFF has the amount of snaps they played whether under left tackle, left guard, right tackle, right guard, center, or whatever, and whatever the most snaps they played under is their natural position, which some idiot in our draft roll room needs to understand, like, and our coaching staff needs to understand, like, if you keep rotating these guys,
it's not making it better.
It doesn't work out always.
Yeah, it's not making
it's making it worse.
They think they're going to get better. They're not getting better. In fact, it's frightening. They're getting worse.
Yeah. So that's another thing that needs to stop. It's becoming, it's very repetitive what they're doing, and it's not getting us anything. You know though, so nobody drafts a kid that only played right tackle in school. I just realized that, because if he can only play right tackle at the college level, he's not going to play right tackle at the pro level, and he certainly isn't going to play left tackle. So what do you do? But they need to understand that that's what wins championships, is depth at their right natural position of where they played. Yeah. And finding a bona fide starter of the natural position of which they played in college. That's what wins championships right there. Yeah, Stop with just being cute bullshit and rotating them on the offensive line where they don't belong. We've already seen that for the past 7 years. Yeah, I know, and it's I don't know what they're gonna do. When's the last time we had a good right tackle? Wait. Trent Brown. Yeah, and he should have been a left tackle again, But Trent Brown came in a project. The guy weighed over. Somebody said, "Don't kid yourself." That kid was 400 pounds when Trent Baalke brought him in. They leaned him down to 350. I want him to be I want him to be 400 pounds. He could move that big body too. That's what was amazing. Yeah. So that's what if we could find a guy like Trent Brown again. I really miss the pair of Trent Brown and Josh Garnett. Those two were great pass blockers on the right side. They paired very well together. Yeah. I miss having that. So. How about the duel that we had when we had Harbaugh at right tackle and right guard? Boy, those guys can road block. I got AD and what's the Polynesian's name? Anyway. Ayupati and Anthony Davis. We could run left Bailey, or right side with authority. I said, oh, my God, and Frank Gore was just cleaning up. I said, yes. You'll never get that to happen. I don't know when that's going to happen again, though, show. Under a new regime, apparently, so he knows how to still getting rid of use players in the right position. I mean, we've had 7 years with him. Come on. There's been no results. Well, there's been appearances, but no trophies. No banana. So you have to deal with him one more year, though. Right. So anyway. I know. Yeah. It's gonna be hell, though. So we'll be okay, show. Hello. Be prepared for Caleb Williams coming on here pretty soon. Keep an eye out for him. So, all right. Shout out to everyone. Y'all take care. Appreciate you, fam. Have a great night. And hey, Tony. The Rams Terminator.
Good evening, Ronbo.
Good evening,
I see you saw my comments about the history lesson of the travels of the Rams.
Hey, Tony, you may know the answer to this also. I see there's a Ram and they're talking about, oh, that's Rudy. Yeah, well, matter of fact, we got the Chargers and somebody else paying us rent. Who collects for the ownership of SoFi? Is that true? The Rams don't owe. You don't pay rent to the Rams. Don't you pay the money to the city of Los Angeles?
That's the Charger Stadium.
That is a Charger Stadium.
Los Angeles Charger Stadium.
I love Tony. You're sure of that, aren't you? I love it. Rudy got slapped again.
That's right. That's right. You remember the history of the Rams? Ronbo, they started in Cleveland. Yeah. Then they moved out to play in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Then during the Eric Dickerson years, after they went to their first Super Bowl, they moved to Anaheim.
Yeah.
They shared the Anaheim Stadium with the Angels.
And this is the same guy who loves to post up how many trophies we have in our Santa Clara showroom. I said, Rudy, you got balls. You guys have moved around probably more than any franchise in NFL. And you go
More
talk
than the
about
Raiders.
Yeah, you go talk about the 49ers having our stadium in Santa Clara. We still go by the name of San Francisco 49ers. Until that name changes, you need to have more respect. Really? Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, you know what? Here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers, I couldn't wait to see this. Aaron Rodgers has made demands of the Jets. He ain't even there yet. Has Aaron Rodgers, has he gotten on your nerves yet?
One of those demands, which is going to help us. I hope.
Which one?
The Jets, I love their receiving core. But Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, and Denzel Mims. You know how I've been talking about Denzel Mims. They just signed Alan Lazard from the Packers.
What is
they don't need a receiver.
Lazard is okay, but he's not better than what they have in the Jets already. And what are you bringing over his favorite guy? He's dragging around like luggage from one place to another. Because they already got rid of, what's his name, that plays the slot a lot? And also Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah, man, he needs to retire. He's been around forever. He's just a blocking tight end. They lost their tight end Tomlin, whatever his name is. He signed with the Bears.
And don't the Jets have a good draft pick? This draft is rich with tight ends. Why would you do that, Aaron?
I don't know, because the Packers hold all the cards. We're gonna trade you when we feel like it.
And they're gonna wait till draft night. Aaron, I don't know if Aaron knows.
Yeah. He's frustrated. You can be frustrated all you want. You know how it is. You burn your bridges, and then you can talk all the talk you want, but you burn your bridges. Now they have all the power. You got to sit and wait.
If I was a Jets, I'd be scared. If I was a Jet fan, I'd be scared. Why? Because what if Aaron does an Aaron and he stays in Green Bay, and I already signed Lazard? I had to get rid of some other people. Lazard is okay, but I got receivers that are just as good.
And they're younger.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
What's that other guy he likes so
Ronbo.
much?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? The wide receiver?
Cobb needs
Randall.
to retire.
Yeah, he wants to bring Randall.
Yeah.
You know what though? I do understand my bros. I got to bring them with me. But Aaron, the Jets haven't won anything in a long time. You need to come in and mesh with the program and try to keep their program going, not tear it down and build it up, and you may leave in the next 2 years. The man's 39 years old.
And you know as well as I do, Ronbo, just like you said about OBJ, for 6 games into the season, Cobb going to get hurt.
He wants OBJ, too. That's on his wish list. He wants to redo the whole receiving core.
That ain't going to happen. They got a nice receiving core already, man. It doesn't make sense.
If there's anybody at take...
Lazard signing...
Go ahead.
They might get rid of Corey Davis because of the salary. If he can come right on down to Atlanta or Denzel Mims, I'll take them both.
Yeah. If I was going to get anybody from Green Bay, it would be that sensation they got last year, the one you like so much and everybody else liked it, that played with
Christian Watson.
Christian Watson. I said, now you're talking. Christian Watson's, what is he, 22, 3, 4? And, 20, yeah.
It took him a while, but around week 8, week 9, he started balling like he was in college.
Unstoppable. God.
Yeah. Double coverage, couldn't stop him. He catches a slant against Philly and takes him to the house on Sunday Night Football.
Athleticism? My God, he can get up.
Yep. Ronbo, I heard a published report that turned out to be fake. I can't think of who it was. It was somebody after your show Friday night. It was about 2 hours later. I was channel surfing on YouTube. And the report was that y'all had signed Yannick Ngakwe. So on one of my Falcon shows on Saturday morning, on noon, I talked about, I said, well, Yannick signed with the 49ers. Tony, let me check. And they said, no, we haven't seen that. And then
I was about to say, they haven't announced it.
It hasn't happened yet.
Because that would take Twitter down.
In the San Francisco area gave a fake report, but I did hear y'all trying to sign him.
Yeah, they probably, the 49ers are going to definitely talk to people. All of it's not going to, there's people that are probably talking to that everybody doesn't know about. I mean, who knew they were talking to Hargrave? But, yeah, they walk around doing these little covert missions all over the country.
Ronbo, to me, with what y'all have, if y'all sign Yannick Ngakwe, y'all going to have the best defensive line in football.
Good.
Y'all sign just that because Y'all already 3 quarters there.
Yeah.
Him and Nick
Bosa?
on the ends, and then you got Hargraves and Armstead in the middle, and then you got Jordan Willis, Cleveland Farrell, and Drake Jackson as rotational defensive ends, and Kinlaw as a rotational defensive tackle. That's the best.
Stop, Tony. It's like I can smell that. You know, the food in the kitchen is cooking, and it's an hour away from dinner. I can smell it. It's making me crazy.
Y'all got them all anyway, except that one man. Y'all get him. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
y'all can rest Nick on some plays.
Yeah, actually, you don't have to put him out there. Although Nick's probably wanting to be out there as all he can be. And Nick, it would be time to actually let Nick play the JJ. How many linemen around the NFL can pick and choose the position on the line they want to play? Nick needs to have that status
freedom.
now. Yeah.
Baby, where's Nick? Oh, you gonna single Ndakwe?
Yeah.
You gonna single Hargraves?
Yeah.
Pick your poison. They're gonna have to keep a tight end
to
block on every play. He can't get out in the route.
Willis and Nick, wherever he wants to lurk. I mean, it would be like Aaron Donald now. You know, because boy.
Yeah. But you know what, too, Ronbo, signing Ndakwe, it's gonna make Drake Jackson better, and then Kinlaw better learn from Hargraves. He needs to step up now because this is good for Kinlaw.
Man, I hope he knows. If his leg is all right, I think he might be able to beat Givens out. Maybe, but Givens is tough.
Yeah.
But he's the only guy I can see that Javon can only beat out. Otherwise, everybody else.
This might be better for Kinlaw too as a rotational instead of a starter.
Yeah. A first round pick though.
You might make him a better player.
Yeah.
Take less pressure off of him.
And the 49ers, I know they're going to draft another defensive lineman this year. Probably in the first three picks they got. 49ers love them some defensive linemen. If they see a beast, they're going to go after him if they can get him.
Yeah, and there's some in the draft too. And Rudy, we was talking smack around, talking about we got 11 picks. I said, yeah, y'all's first pick ain't till late in the third. 11 picks. Trying to brag.
You know?
Oh, and they lost Ashawn Robinson is talking to the Giants. He's probably going to sign with them tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then today, Greg Gaines, the other defensive tackle, signed with Tampa Bay. So Donald's all by himself. The other 2 guys are gone.
When Aaron finally comes to his senses and said, listen, I love playing football, but I'm not going out looking like no damn fool. I'm gonna have to say goodbye, y'all.
Yeah, because now they're gonna triple team them. They can. They don't have no experience at the defensive tackle position other than him.
I'm using cornerbacks to block the other linemen.
Yeah, because 75% of the secondary is gone. Starting secondary is gone. Who's left back there? The only one left from the starting secondary is Jordan Fuller, their strong safety. The 2 starting corners are gone, and Taylor Rapp is gone.
God, they are really going to look like booty cheeks this year. I can't wait to see what they finally put together as a team. The Rams are going to have to forfeit this week against the 49ers due to a lack of personnel.
Yeah, exactly. And then I heard the Ram ownership telling Allen Robinson he can seek to be a request a trade. Ronbo, didn't he just get there last year?
And people didn't even like him last year.
Right. He stayed hurt. Now they're trying to get rid of him. They really must be broke, like you said, Ronbo. They ain't got no money.
They are. What they did was they built a lot of contracts up. They put it all in on trying to win that Super Bowl. They won it, okay. But now, for the rest, I mean, it's going to be years before you can recover from this kind of damage. You know, that's why when you build a team, you build it for some kind of sustainability. The Rams didn't give a damn. We can hold people for the next 10 years. So in order to get under the cap, we're going to have to let a lot of people go. We can't have a contract over $5 million. No matter what.
This was, Ronbo. You know what this was? This reminds me of a story. You know how you're talking about F them picks and all that?
Yes.
They sold their souls to the devil.
They did.
And now the devil's being paid.
Collected. Yep. So if Aaron wants to
now
play,
the devil's being paid back.
And don't I guarantee you right now, if Aaron Donald came in and said, I'm calling it a day, Aaron, you know what? We were not about to ask you. Listen, we'll sweeten the pot. We really do appreciate it, and thank you so much for all you've done. Aaron, listen, we can also give you a release, so you can, if you want to sign with another team, you can go right ahead. Aaron, thanks. You'll be a Ram forever. I bet you that's exactly what would happen.
Yeah, the poor Cam Akers, man. The first one to ask to leave, he's still there with that shit show. That's messed up.
They don't like him, Tony. They're trying to punish him. See, that's why they're going to make him stay. Cam, you stay here.
Yeah.
We own you. You're going to play. You're not going to have any offensive line protection. You're going to be out on the field every few minutes because the quarterback is questionable this year because we don't know how his arm's going to be. And you're going to be the offense. You're going to be raggedy meat every week.
Well, all you got to do is tweet something and say, I'm hurt, and then go sit down.
I know.
So that's what's going to happen.
What a mess. Oh, God.
They're going to have a lot of young players. There'll be a lot of young players that we don't know. Some we may
Nobody
know
knows.
playing for them this year. Yeah.
I can't wait. UDFA's all over the field.
You say UDFA?
All over the field. That's all they can afford.
What about the Golden Boy? What about the Golden Boy, Ronbo?
Wait, which one?
Stafford.
Oh, Stafford? Yeah, well, Stafford's, they'll try to keep him. And they'll beg Cooper Kupp to please don't cry. We're going to be okay. We're rebuilding this team. Just give us a couple of years. The Rams are, every time you're feeling, I tell anybody, anytime you're not feeling well, think about the Rams for a minute. It'll bring you to tears laughing.
Yeah. They're
What
going to
a
be a
mess.
laughing stock of the league. Even the Arizona Cardinals fans are going to be laughing at the Rams.
Tony, what are the odds? Next year, the McVay says I've had it. That's it. I don't think there's anything more I can do here. I'm going to go ahead and, But Sean, you're the one you're part of the reason why this team is doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I still say, even with all those moves, if they hadn't got Von Miller, those moves would have backfired on them in 2021, and they wouldn't even got to the Super Bowl. Von Miller was the key.
I know.
I still believe that.
And they play, and they might have paid Kowski T. You know what? That's fine. Yeah. Rams got their little trophy. That's it. They got it. They got it. Fine. But now we get to watch them burn in hell for the next 10, 15 years.
Salary cap purgatory. Ronbo, I meant to tell you from your Friday show.
Yeah.
Another thing, and look at the film. Isaiah Oliver blitzes off of that nickel spot and gets to the quarterback. He's got about like 4 or 5 sacks with it.
Hey, people talk about him. Like I have no doubt. I'm delighted with him. Nobody's saying anything bad about him.
He's almost 6'2". Yeah. He's almost 6'2", 210 with speed. He has blitz for us and got to the quarterback.
He's real athletic too. I mean, he comes from a pedigree of athletic folks in his family. So I'm looking forward to this.
And he's fully recovered from that 2021 ACL. The whole season, he's fully recovered now.
Yep. So
So,
well, Tony,
I wish we could have kept him, man. I was mad that we didn't re-sign him, but
Yeah. We lost a lot of people too. Every team is having to go through that this year. Blame the pandemic. Things are going to be out of whack for a little while because of the repercussions of 2020. I don't know how long it's going to take for teams. Television and everything else is doing their best to help the NFL recover, but it's going to be rough. This probably might be the last year of real suffering, though. I think next year things might start to get back in order. So you don't have to get rid of everybody. It won't help the Rams, though. They'll still be sinking.
Yep, and ain't nobody going to feel sorry for
them. Anyway, hey, Tony, I'm going to go. I'll tell you, I'll be back Tuesday, and let's see what happens.
Tuesday night, we're looking for some more. I'm on the Yannick watch. I know we ain't gonna get him.
Oh man, Yannick!
I want him so bad.
He should ask for something.
I know you guys are running.
Oh, because he's gonna have a minimum of $10 million. If Epicom can get 10, he can certainly get 15 or 12 or something.
I wonder why. That's the second time over the last year and a half I got a false report from someone out there on the West Coast about. I forgot what the first one was.
I'm not surprised.
Now, I saw the report on Yahoo. Not Yahoo, on YouTube. That y'all signed them Friday night after your show.
And I'm glad I didn't read that. I would have went nuts, and I would have been for no point. All right.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Tony. Maybe something will happen
All right,
with him between now and tomorrow. All right. Have a great night, Tony.
Yes, sir. You too.
Oh, God. That's funny. 9 to 10 sacks a year. Yannick, I don't know how he's not already signed. Yannick has been mistreated in the NFL. Remember that year he should have absolutely with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Remember he should have made the All-Star squad? He didn't make it. I said, wow. He was having a great year. No All-Star. Since then, he's consistent. I don't doubt for a minute the 49ers talked to him, but his price is probably just a little too much. 49ers would have picked him up in a heartbeat. No doubt about it. And if they hadn't picked up Hargrave, they probably would have picked him up. Anyway, fam, I'll see you Tuesday. Just have a wonderful night. When you get a chance, if you're not feeling well, think about the Rams. I guarantee you, all of a sudden, it's just a glorious day. Rams! Rudy, I'll see you on Twitter. I know you're still talking trash. You don't better mess with me. I'm enjoying that, though. Keep bringing it. Boy, I'll slap you all the way over to Instagram and Facebook. Damn it! Fam, thanks for coming tonight. Hit that like and subscribe, please. I'll see you Tuesday.